to another edition of the Chompcast live. We know life is precious and your time is valuable, so thank you for making our show a part of your day. Hopefully we can return the favor by enhancing the grind of life just a little bit. You know, our show gives you those legendary life boons to help you get through 2021. Props to Hades. I need to actually get rid of that now that I'm mad at Hades after the BAFTAs. I need to change the whole intro. Don't forget to check out swordchomp.com.
Yeah, I'm surprised you're still going with that months later.
Look, it's not Hades' fault. I can be mad. I don't have to be mad at the game. This great game. I'm just mad at the British
I'm just gazing at Josh's beautiful overlay and how great it looks and what a great job it did slapping this all together.
Oh, I want to. We have a sexy overlay that I cannot see. But I'll see it later, I'm sure. So, yeah, this is exciting. Our second live show. Don't forget to go to swordchomp.com if this is a new stream for you. Swordchomp.com, we have written reviews, links to all of our podcasts, merchandise, patreon.com, you name it. You can join Chomp Nation.
Patreon.com, we own the whole thing.
Patreon.com/swordchomp. Good call. The slash sword chomp.
Those.
Yeah.
Anyone you're paying on Patreon, we get a portion of that.
Yeah, what are we doing? Why are we doing this, guys? This is just for fun.
Today's podcast is brought to you by Coca-Cola.
Oh wait, it is actually because I have a Dr. Pepper.
No, it is not.
A Coca-Cola product.
No, it's you can't.
It
just
is
because
not.
you have
We
a
are not
Coca-Cola
sponsored
product
by
doesn't.
Coca-Cola.
But if we keep doing it for free, maybe they'll send us shit.
We can make a joke. They're not going to get mad.
Yeah, because that's how the world works.
I happen to know that all the
Great
Coke execs
publicity.
listen to this podcast.
They'll especially love my Stephen Hawking impression.
And
I've been working
stream. It's down.
I don't like what's happening here.
I actually been workshopping a really good Stephen Hawking impression. I'll get to it
Have
later.
you?
Please don't. Please don't.
I've been working on it. It's really good. And for the record, I love me some Stephen Hawking. Remember that really? Oh, I'll bring it up later. We had a really great Stephen Hawking joke. Rich, you were there for that. You were there for that Stephen Hawking joke. That was when you first came aboard.
I've chosen to distance myself
from your own self.
from that time in my life.
Distance myself from that time in my life. That was a year ago. Yeah, you're a completely different person. I apologize. Anyways, you know, guys, this week.
I mean, we all are.
I mean, technically, yeah, you're constantly losing so many skin cells. Am I even the same person I was back then?
True. It's true. Every day we are just growing into the beautiful people that we want to, you know, we're growing into our heroes. Whatever.
Not
your
me.
hero
I'm
may
getting
be.
worse.
Vacuum up a little bit of ourselves and throw it away. Unless we're Morgan, in which case, every year or two, we vacuum up a little bit of ourselves and throw it away.
We also save all our urine.
I do like the sound of vacuuming myself. So,
Isn't that a weird thing? We pay hundreds of dollars. Thank you, Danny.
Oh God,
Damn.
we're blowing up here. Damn, Dan.
Thank you very much.
What happened? I can't see it. Obviously, I'm hosting.
We got a 10 sub bomb from Danny.
You need the link.
Oh.
I'll take the
to our stream.
That's
Morgan.
right. Sub. No, it'll distract me. I'm happy
Yeah,
that you guys can do that. Yeah.
I'll do the
Morgan should not have access to
at
chat
some
during
point in
live
the
shows.
show. Give me a
it's
break.
on-
At some point in the show, give me a break. I'll do the hot sauce banana today. I'll take that
Oh,
first
alright.
one.
Does that now apply to the Chompcast?
You know,
Wow, this is-
with the wonderful way Discord works, I can actually make the full stream just you while we go on break, and you can do it then.
Yeah.
just me. Great.
No,
That's
just
great.
me.
That's smart. That's
Oh,
smart.
so you're doing the
Yeah.
banana now. Yeah, no.
That's right. I don't get breaks
Morgan just
here at Sword
volunteered
Chomp.
himself.
I thought it'd be artistic if Shay eats the banana, but he's not on camera, and I just keep talking about something. It's an artistic choice.
That sounds terrible, especially the part where you're on camera.
Shay can just pretend to eat the banana. Oh, it's fucking terrible.
Wow.
Oh.
And Sandwich, thank you for those 5 subs as well.
Was
Thank you very
Woody
much.
Allen's
Wow.
worst movie.
Sub it up, please. Sub it up. Otherwise, it's all gonna come crumbling down, and
What?
just like that.
Great heroes.
So guys, at the beginning of this week, it started with a Google session. I was trying to see if there was a turtle in Monster Hunter lore. You know, a turtle monster that you hunt. And after Googling around, I found that there is not. Now there is a new turtle-esque monster. in
Well, none of
Monster
them are
Hunter.
literal turtles. Like none of the monsters are literal animals.
I know, but yes, you're right. But like they usually resemble in some ways an animal of some sort. Like this thing looks like a giant flying squirrel
like a
mixed
Rathian.
with, yeah. There's a lot of dragons, but there's some that like, hey, this looks like a flying squirrel mixed with a scorpion or something. You know what I mean? Like you can kind of tell what they're going for. The closest is this thing called a Tetranodon, which I think is in the Monster Hunter Rising. It's brand new. But it actually, the English title is Kappa Frog. And it sort of looks like a froggy platypus with like a hard shell on its back. It's like the closest thing I could find. Have you fought the Tetranodon yet?
No,
Monster
but
Hunter?
I am very, very. I don't know if you know this about Monster Hunter. It's a lot.
It is a lot.
We will.
So
He's not 300 hours in yet, so there's very.
He's just
little
scratched the
chance he's
surface.
I'm like
actually
5 hours in, so I did the tutorial.
He doesn't have anybody to play with. He's very sad.
That's
so.
not true.
Just you can just buy me
No,
a game and I'll be happy.
that's
to play
not
with
true.
you.
I have people to play with.
The sadness was true.
You could be playing with me,
but
though.
that's
You
like
could be playing with
universally
me.
true. Yeah, but
that's
like it cost me $60 to punish myself.
It's like going to a
Well,
psychic. I hear you have a pulse.
Josh, ask Josh. It costs a lot more to punish yourself. People pay a lot more for that, Rich.
Yeah, but I'm
right?
not into
So,
that.
I mean, for somebody who's
You'd have-
good,
don't knock
you could not afford me. But
Yeah. The point is, I would buy it for
Ooh,
Josh
the
for.
chills going down my spine. So yeah, that was a little disappointing. With the same Google session, I stumbled across
the chills
an
are
article.
extra.
I was thinking a lot about animals, kind of just spinning through that lore, and I came across a Google article about a brand new article about how the coronavirus likely came from an animal. Obviously, it was a WHO draft report, and it was pretty interesting. Kind of reading
Giraffe.
who?
Yeah, so like in the
so-
Dr.
so-
Seuss universe,
Mm.
giraffes.
That makes sense.
Man, the world where Dr. Seuss is making storybooks about the
a
coronavirus is a dark world.
Seussian giraffe.
Yeah.
Oh man. And then
We didn't listen
He was
to
a
Lorax,
soothsayer
and this
of
is what he
sorts.
has wrought upon us.
Doctor Strange, Seussiverse of madness.
which Dr. Seuss creature is most likely to spread the coronavirus? That's what-
I think the
wanna know.
Grinch.
Yeah.
I could see that actually. I could see that. Saw
Mike
that
Myers,
solid
Cat in the
movie.
Hat is
Poor
like a
hygiene.
goof.
A goof, yeah. And then I kind of stumbled across a lot of early reviews on Godzilla vs Kong, which for
I
our
watched
listeners,
that.
I took that bullet for you.
45 minutes of that movie is pretty good. All the parts where there were no people on screen talking.
Yeah. All the parts where there's no people. When there was people, it was basically Transformers.
I like
quality
the part
film.
where the big monkey fought the radioactive lizard.
Yes. And they had
They
cheesy
probably
lines
made it
like,
exactly like the Transformers, where they just do all the CGI fights first and then figure out what the fuck to tie it together with
that's
the
what-
actors once
"Oh
they hire them.
God."
Well, listen, the Transformers movies, they're kind of a blur, and I've blocked them out. For all I know, they're 2 hours of footage of Michael Bay just playing with Transformers toys, and
Yeah.
and making up terrible storylines.
Well, they started fun because it was like Megan Fox and Linkin Park, and then it just went downhill.
Yeah, they
So-
started bad, and then they got worse. I agree.
Yeah.
Toe Thumbs
Yeah,
and
wasn't
Linkin
the plot of
Park.
the
How
first
dare
one
you?
that he happened to own the Transformers, and so he was a very special boy. Like that was literally all he had going for him, and yeah.
Very special boy.
Sideswipe's cool, right, guys?
And I literally Godzilla, thinking about the scale of monsters reminding me a lot of, Monster Hunter, and it's sort of how everything was connected thematically. When I was talking to you guys about the topic, I thought it would be a lot of fun to talk about this week, which is animal companions in games. We've never really delved into that, and it's something almost everyone loves, like an animal companion in a game, from Pikachu to Dogmeat. We have those amazing sidekicks that sort of help us on our journey and make us feel a little less lonely, or many times actually help save our ass, depending on what the game is. So I think animal companions is going to be a really fun topic this week, so you don't want to miss that. And then, of course, Rich is going to give us a brief rundown on his time with Monster Hunter Rise.
I actually played both of the big games this week.
Well, there's another big game. What's it? Oh,
It's,
something.
You know what's Morgan? It's crazy, and we'll get to it when we talk about Outriders. Like, you'll want to talk a shit about it, but this is 100% your kind of game.
Oh no, this is why it's got a lot of loot and.
I'm not sure it's a real game.
It is. I played it.
It still sounds fake.
It's real.
Is there
It sounds like
classical
a shared
guitar?
hallucination.
And I got better takes on it than you would assume when it is playable.
Okay. All right, I'm curious about it because I know absolutely nothing about it. They're
It
trying
actually,
to tell me
I
it's a
almost,
AAA game, but I don't believe them.
I almost messaged you to. It's from Square, and people can fly. I almost messaged you today, Morgan, to be like, this is not me trying to get you to buy something, but like, if you pick this up for PS5, this is 100% your type of game.
Oh, I should email Square. I've been bothering Square because I really want to get. I've been, not bothering them. I'm very polite and cordial. But I've been bothering them politely because I really want to get Shay a review copy of Saga Frontier. Yeah, and it's just like, so I'm still just hoping like hell. And then of course Nier's coming out soon, so I guess I could bother him about Outriders as well.
Bother them about everything, man. Just bother all the
politely.
Slide into
rejection.
Square Enix's DMs.
Oh, I know I love nothing more than a good DM slide. And we have a bunch of other games to talk about. I know River City Girls and pretty much anything we have time to throw in there, we will. I know we try to keep the show on the best schedule we can. And then, of course, we have our fun polls that we will get to. Like last week, we joked about hiding the shame of our nerdy boxers. Well, this week I asked our audience, would they be okay with their significant other actually having video game themed boxers? You rip off the jeans of that strapping young hunk and you got some Sonic the Hedgehog underwear. Is that a turn on or a turn off?
Video game boxers, sure. Sonic the Hedgehog, no.
Rich, I thought we were on the team Sonic the Hedgehog. What happened?
On boxers.
What made you think that?
That's just what they want to scare.
What
them
about
right
me
before
made
that
you think
happens.
that?
Well, you showed up for a long time ago. For people who don't know
Gotta go
this, you can
fast.
find this. If you're a hardcore fan of the Chompcast, you should go dig this show out. But Rich was a guest on the podcast, and he talked about Sonic Mania with me and Shay.
Yeah, Sonic
Josh.
Mania is great. You know what's terrible? The 20 years of bullshit in between that and Sonic 2.
But you do like Sonic 1 and 2 and Sonic Mania, so yeah, maybe you are a Sonic guy.
3 out of 400 games. Yeah, I'm really sold.
Give me a Sonic
Wow,
Adventure.
that
Give me a
weird
Sonic Adventure.
PS
Come on.
Sonic Adventure is bad.
Oh, no. You hurt me. Sonic Generations.
Morgan, you're approaching this all the wrong way.
I'm sorry.
Rich, who was the man who suggested that we do a Sonic the Movie Chomping After Dark?
Me? That movie is
go.
great.
There you go.
That's the fourth Sonic thing I like.
Checkmate.
Oh, there we go. 4. We're building a memorial here, Shay.
And
We gotta get the 4.
I ironically,
That's what I'm telling you.
I ironically like Sonic Underground.
Oh, there we go.
I don't really
Sonic
like it.
Generations.
I just like to know that people know that I know what that is.
The theme song's pretty catchy.
It's a good theme song.
Yeah.
They made a vow, guys. Their mother will be found.
I actually I'll have to read the poll. I used the naked eye and I probably used it incorrectly, but we'll get to it. So let's get to some intros. They've already been talking quite a bit, but let's just briefly, if you're joining our show for the first time, I want you to be able to place a name with one of these sexy faces. Joining us from New York, his name is Rich. We call him the Rich Meister. And he is where are you on these squares, Rich? Are you in the bottom right,
I'm
top
in the
left? Where are you?
bottom left.
Bottom left. Okay. So he's in the bottom left.
Check where he was as well.
He's below you.
Yeah, you're right above me.
Ooh, I'm in the top left again. I like that spot. I feel cozy up there. Please don't change it.
I have no effect. This is 100% out of my hands.
That's weird. I was there last week too.
Really?
It's because you're always the third person to get on the show.
Isn't there extra animal companions in Rise this time? Like there's more than just a cute.
Yes, there are. There is on top of the Palico, which is your normal cat. You now have a dog called a Palamute, and replacing the sort of Firefly tracking system, you now have a third animal companion to help you with tracking, called a Kahoot, who is a little owl.
3 animals. Holy shit.
The Kahoot doesn't help with combat or anything. You just call him and send him up the track. The Palico works the way you remember. Little kitty friend follows you around, helps with combat.
Yeah,
Palamute also helps with combat, and he's also a mount.
My favorite detail. I know Shay haven't played the Monster Hunter series, but my favorite detail about the palicos, they're like little cats that follow you around and help you. Whenever you go to like a watery area in Monster Hunter World, they would pull out these little like floaties, like little pool floaties, and they would use them to get around. And
it was like they had little inflatable rafts on them at all times.
So very well animated too, so adorable. And fun fact, the calico is my favorite kind of
Palico.
cat. No, it's
the calico cat is what you're actually talking about. I thought you were just
yeah.
confusing the palico with the actual.
I love a good calico, and I don't have one anymore because I gave it away to a woman I loved who broke my heart. Anyways, thanks for being here, Rich. Joining us from
Apparently, you didn't love it enough.
Boom! She left you.
It wasn't love; it was just infatuation. Shay is on joining us from
that pussy away.
Oh,
got him.
Joining us from the top, nothing like a
I'm here from Japan.
Shay Layton is joining us from Japan.
In the top
Shay
right.
is on the top right. Thank you. No, my actual intro I had for you, Shay, was this man's sexual exploits left him with some semi-permanent animal companions of the crotch, unless he hits them with the medical grade shampoo. Shay Layton.
Talking about crabs, ladies and gentlemen.
He's got the crabs.
That's one of your best intros for me yet. Props to you. Oh, that was good.
Your reaction surprised me. I spit all over. If people go back and watch that, I spit soda all over my computer. Oh Lord.
I'm doing better now after that intro. No, I'm doing really well. This week was just full of me being full of myself, and no, it was I was taking care of a lot of adult shit since I'm on spring vacation.
Running your adult entertainment store.
That was nice to get a lot of adult stuff done.
Yeah.
A lot of cleaning of my apartment, and going to see the cherry blossoms right now, which has been really nice because they bloomed a little bit early, so they're in full bloom right now.
Beautiful. Yeah, very beautiful time in Japan.
Cool.
It's been gorgeous. Absolutely gorgeous.
You gorgeous, sweetheart.
Really gaudy being out there.
You know,
I got nothing
I was
else.
thinking
But
a lot of
good.
This is tangential, but by the way, I'm Morgan, General Mountain Time, as they call me, from Montana. My animal companion is right behind me, Blastoise, forever lighting my path. Shout out to Fletch.
All right.
I was thinking.
All right. I need to go learn if Blastoise can learn Flash now.
I think it might be able to. I think in like Red and Blue, like almost everything could learn Flash, like in a non-logical.
Everything could.
In like a very non-logical way. It was like, what? How does a blast? Oh, you know why it does?
Now.
It learns Flash Cannon, which is a steel move because of the cannons on its back. Boom, Blastoise knowledge right there.
Yeah,
right there.
That can learn Flash Cannon, but it can't learn Flash. So
What?
It's not lighting your path there, Morgan.
Well, but could I light the path of the Flash Cannon? Maybe.
No,
I doubt it.
we already said no.
I'm gonna write a strongly
One of
worded
the
letter to
few.
Game Freak right
One
now.
of the few that don't.
Damn it.
They'll send you back a
Doesn't
letter. It's
learn
like,
Flash.
bro, I don't know what the fuck you want from us.
I want you to stop making the same game every few years. Oh, I'm just kidding. That was mean.
They'll never send us toads now.
I love Pokemon, and I love Pokemon enough to put it on my wall. If I'm not worthy of a code, then who the fuck is?
Lots of people.
Sound like I put myself on a.
You're not
Pokemon
worthy
poll.
of anything.
Boom.
So on a serious note, I was thinking a lot about crab
Next caller.
because my wife eats crabs, and I don't get it because I think they're disgusting. Like
Crabs are great.
But like, this isn't about like what you enjoy eating. Everything comes out of the ocean. I think is stinky and gross.
Have you ever eaten a crab?
No, they're too stinky.
Literally, the sweetest meat there is.
It's so delicious.
It's my wife's favorite food in the whole world is like a high level crab. So she's all about it.
You're completely unwilling to even try it.
Well, no, I can't get past the smell. I can't even be in a. I can't
Prepared
eat other.
It doesn't smell
Prepared
fishy.
crab does not smell. It's one of the least
It
fishy.
doesn't smell fishy at all. It smells like crab. So like
Yeah, but yeah, that smell I don't
ridiculously
like. Yeah.
sweet and umami. It's like it's.
Yeah, you know, it kind of smells like a roach that lives in salt water, basically.
No,
doesn't.
not at all.
Roaches smell bitter.
It's a weird
And
thing.
they taste bitter.
Have you ever had a roach before, Josh?
We used to live on
I mean,
Keesler Air Force Base. The entire base smells like roaches.
Never had a roach salad sandwich?
That's what it was.
Yeah, no, that bitter smell, those were roaches.
I don't eat horse meat, Rich.
Neither do I. I don't seek it out, but if it's what's available,
You're just going to insult the French like that.
it's too tough.
No, I was gonna say I'm on Morgan's side here, just simply not because of the smell or the taste, but because I don't know if you guys have seen that new documentary Seascapades on Netflix, where they're talking about how
Why are they making them cease?
fish are
Just let them do what they want.
Let them do their capades.
critically endangered.
Yeah. Which ones?
No, it's fish are critically endangered from what we're doing of overeating and stuff like that. So, yeah, I'm on Morgan's side for not
No,
eating
fish
as much
aren't crabs.
seafood.
Well, he's not doing it to have like a moral leg to stand on. And yeah, crabs aren't exactly fish.
No,
I can pretend I have a moral pincer to stand on.
No,
if
it's
that's
too
what
late.
takes.
You've already told us where we're at.
Yeah.
You already decided that the reason you don't like it is because you're closed-minded.
Yeah, no, it's like I'm totally anti-slavery because they're stealing my job. Like you can't recover from that.
Well, they are doing it cheaper.
No, but my larger point was that it's when my wife eats crabs, it's a big endeavor. She's like cracking them and peeling them, and she's got all these weird
Yeah.
sauces. It's
Yeah,
fucking a lot of work.
I've
and-
ordered crab way
it
too
is
drunk
work.
before, and that's a mistake.
Yeah, no, it's not a drunk food.
You're hammered, and you're like, crab would be great, and then it gets to the table, and you're like, what the fuck did I do?
That's funny. But not necessarily crab meat.
cakes, though.
Crab cakes are great.
Got to get some of those when you're drunk. That's a place.
Hell yeah.
Not necessarily crab meat, but maybe dog meat. Oh, a legendary animal companion. As we get right to the topic of the show here, I thought of a fun.
I don't
way to
eat
start-
dog, just to be clear.
I don't either. And when people eat dog, I don't care if it's cultural. I think less of them. I do. I'm sorry.
You picked
Don't
a really
eat dog.
weird moral high ground to like.
Yeah.
No one's advocating for eating dogs. You didn't need to make this.
It's like, oh no, they're too smart. I'm like, I'm not vegan, but that's a bridge too far. Also,
is.
ants. You totally shouldn't eat bugs or anything because they're what's my reason? It's probably because they're
Look.
too smart.
I'm not saying it's the same thing necessarily, principally maybe, but I'm just saying if you knew someone, if Shay said one day he was like, guys, I ate dog last night.
You'd be like, yeah,
Yeah.
that's weird.
Shay,
Yeah,
I'm
no,
like,
you make up
yeah.
tons of different reasons just because you feel like it.
because I love dogs.
That's totally why I don't have a Beamer because that's what the Nazis drove.
Same, honestly.
Yeah. No, I won't do it. I totally won't do it. And that's the only reason.
So you understand where I'm coming from. All right, we're good.
Yeah, it's the only reason.
Can't think of another.
the rare case where Josh makes me shake my head. What are you talking
You'll get
about?
it.
Last week he did show us his feet, and that was pretty shake worthy. So
Yeah, we got banned from Twitch for that. I had to make some calls.
the what? Yeah, Joshua Fowler. Again, thank you for joining us from Michigan.
Animal Companion.
Josh, I almost segued too early. Josh, my intro I had for you is that at past 12 inches, you basically are carrying an animal companion around with you in your pants everywhere you go. But until, I mean, it's classified
Yeah,
as
but
an animal
it's like
companion.
no, but TSA is fine with it because it's like a service animal.
Service.
A seeing eye anaconda.
Providing a pleasure.
My emotional support anaconda.
Giving orgasms to the needy.
Sir,
If there's too much turbulence,
So, sir, what's that in your pants? Oh, it's my seeing eye anaconda.
Service animal. Oh god.
Okay, well, I'll let you go.
In many ways, it really is a servicing animal. It really is providing that loving service for.
Yes, that's the joke. That's the joke.
It's so much funnier when you explain it.
Thank you. I thought so. Yeah, thank you again for joining us from Michigan, Josh. But yeah, so if I thought of a fun way to go into the topic this week and a little different than normal. We're just like, so animal companions. Well, let's go around. How about this? If I push all my chips on the table, okay, I know we're gonna have some choices of animal companions that we'll go over that meant a lot to us. But if I push all my metaphorical chips on the table and say, thinking about its importance in gaming history and what it means to the character and the game, if that Pikachu is like the #1 animal companion of all time, and I push all my
YOSHI
chips
wrong.
on that, okay, well that's the discussion I think would be fun to have. If I push all my chips in on Pikachu, I'm not even the biggest Pikachu guy.
Pikachu can learn Flash.
What would your response be to that? All my chips in on Pikachu.
Light your way.
Let's play that game. He can.
I don't know. I feel like that's too broad because like the whole concept of Pokemon is animal companions. So to like pin it on one in particular, just because it's like the mascot of the franchise, seems a little weird. Like I get the argument, but Pokemon isn't even what comes to my mind when I think of animal companions.
What? Really?
Yeah.
Interesting.
I mean, it kind of like, I think it's the series or the franchise that explores it the most. So going with the mascot that represents that can't go wrong with that. I mean, that wouldn't be my choice, but I was
also thinking about how he's I was also thinking about thematically how he's Ash's companion, who's like this character that everyone knows. He's actually like his
life partner.
Yeah, he just showed back up in the anime as well, just out of nowhere.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Ash just showed back up. And...
Oh, great! I thought we
somehow
got
still a kid.
Long-term amnesia.
Never aged, Ash.
Yeah, he
never
must have been
aged.
trapped in ice or something after fighting the Nazis.
He was visiting his dad, Mr. Mime.
The real question there is, if one of us came back and said, "Hey, guys, I tried Pikachu meat. Morgan, would you judge us differently?"
Oh, that's horrible. I can't imagine a world where people are killing
you can
Pikachu.
Eat, Slowbro in the last one.
Oh yeah, Slowbro tail.
Yeah. That stuff is weird when Pokemon gets into that dark stuff where they're sort of hinting at people that eat.
Dude,
Pokemon.
I love a good Toro steak.
Oh. The dark, I should Google the darkest Pokédexes.
You've never out there. Yo, do you not like Krabby Legs?
Oh, like the OG stuff is pretty bad. Like, yeah.
It's just weird because they don't really make direct mention of that in the world necessarily. It's more like in the lore and things you read about.
Well, not in the games, yeah.
One thing with Pokemon is, I actually learned this recently. Do you guys know why Wailords are so the giant whale in the game are so rare in Pokemon when you're trying to come across them?
Because they've been hunted to near extinction.
I was going to say because Japanese people have been illegally hunting and eating them all.
Oh, that's dark.
Yeah, whale oil.
That's like, in the original Pokemon games in Lapras's Pokédex entry, it says it's nearly been hunted to extinction.
Yeah. I mean, like that literally is the thing here. And I mean, joke aside, it bothers me to no end that Asian cultures in general hunt endangered species. But I mean, we do the same thing in America, so can't really judge.
Well,
they just do it in the sea because there's so much more ocean.
They're probably smarter than us already. It's we need to do something to nip that in the bud.
What, the dolphins?
Well, we got to stop them before they stop us.
Someone convinced me to watch a documentary called The Cove, and that was like the saddest 2 hours of my life, and I wish I'd never ever watched it. It's horrible, dude. They tricked the dolphins into this cove.
Signing those papers was easier for you.
They like use they basically use the echolocation to trick the dolphins into a cove, and then they just gang up on them.
Oh yeah, it's brutal.
Oh, dolphins are so smart too. Like you said, they're smarter than us. Anyway, so but I'm just saying that objectively. I'm not the biggest Pikachu guy in the world. I'm just saying big picture. I thought maybe I could make a case for Pikachu being the the animal companion of all animal companions. But you're saying Yoshi, Rich? Is that what you're latching?
Definitely
here?
one of the biggest ones.
That's up there. That's top 5 easy.
Yeah, that's a good choice because I hadn't really thought of Yoshi as a companion. But he is, I guess, in a way. Yeah.
Yoshi's definitely a companion.
Yeah. You smack. How do you? Wasn't there the whole controversy that you make Yoshi stick his tongue out by slapping him and you donkey punching him?
You whip him, yeah. You pop him in the back of the head. But well, the bigger controversy is Yoshi has to forfeit his life so Mario can continue if you want to get that hot triple jump.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, that's true. That's true. So by that token, we shouldn't. It's too dark. We should.
No,
I said this, but
Yoshi is important.
What do you think? What do you think, Shay? If we're pushing in, we got Yoshi in the chips in, we got Pikachu chips in for like ultimate animal companion. What are you pushing in?
Palico's a big one as well, but I don't think I'm going to get that kind of support here.
Worldwide, I would probably go Pikachu or Yoshi. Those are both probably top choices. In America, I would put Dogmeat up there with those two. Just because so many people play Fallout. Yeah, that's fine. I don't really care. But Dogmeat is definitely ultra popular. Everybody, when you hear Dogmeat, most gamers know.
Any sense of normalcy while playing that game is going to be extremely comforting.
Yeah, because it's very, very like kind of.
Dogmeat, like I would say probably Pikachu or Yoshi are the two biggest ones because everybody knows who Yoshi is, and everybody knows who Pikachu is.
Mm-hmm.
For just gamers in the US, Dogmeat I would say is pretty ubiquitous with them. If you're in that circle, if you're not in that circle, you're asking the average person anywhere in the world, it's going to be Yoshi or Pikachu.
Yeah. Josh, do you have another strong contender there for the?
I don't know why he's not come up yet, but Tails. Tails is an adorable little animal companion.
I've heard that, but I don't like the connotation because that implies the existence of some sort of slave class in the Sonic the Hedgehog universe. Like, if Tails is an animal, then what is his relationship to Sonic?
I mean, can you have an animal companion if you are an animal yourself? That is the deeper philosophical question here.
Well, it's kind of like Goofy is a dog, but so is Pluto situation.
Yeah.
I mean, Sonic is a hedgehog who eats chili dogs. What's in there?
That's a great question.
Yeah.
They might be vegan.
Probably just double cow.
They might be made of impossible meat.
If you're unlucky, probably a lot of pig in there as well.
Impossible chili dogs?
You're telling me Jaleel White was eating impossible chili dogs in the 90s?
In the 90s. They were,
I love that.
Yeah, definitely. What about, in all seriousness, what about Epona?
Somebody,
I mean, not as...
I wouldn't go top 2, but somebody put Epona. Chris Navis left one of our Instagram comments this week, and he said Epona. And Epona is a big one because that's the thing is Zelda has other. I'm sorry, Link has other companions like in Wind Waker, which is my favorite. Yeah. Tingle's an animal in the bed. Let me tell you.
The King of you were gonna say Wind Waker, and I have to inform you that the King of Red Lions is not an animal.
Well, that's what I was. Well, yes, you're. But
no, I'm 100% correct.
No, they like.
He's a human man.
What about that weird creature with the leaf that would follow you
Marker?
around?
He's a Korok. He's one of the forest children.
Oh yeah, that's right. No, my.
What about chocobos?
Also,
chocobos are a big one. Yeah,
those are a good one. Yeah,
those are like the elves.
Yeah,
Koroks are elves. And
but you literally you were raised amongst them and are thought to be one of them for the first half of Ocarina of Time.
Yeah,
I would lean chocobo, but I think a lot of people would consider chocobos and Moogles equally.
Moogles have their own society and they have weddings and they get trapped under bells. Chocobos are animals.
They have their own mail service.
They do, and they deliver the mail of humans as well.
On time, even.
Chocobo's up there, but I still think Yoshi and Pikachu are more popular at that point.
They're definitely
Like
bigger
if I showed somebody a
worldwide.
picture of a Chocobo who doesn't play video games, they're gonna be like, "Oh, that's cute." I show them a picture of Yoshi, they're gonna be like, "Oh, Yoshi," or "Oh, Pikachu." Like those are, I think those are the biggest choices.
I think it's fun to just mention some of these other ones in contrast.
What
but
about
yeah,
Sparks from Spyro?
Spyro's my animal companion, that adorable bastard. You know, speaking of which, it's a broad category because some of them are not animals; they're like mythological creatures or beasts. You know, like dragons. Like a dragon isn't really an animal.
Like yeah,
you know
Yoshi.
what I mean?
Like dinosaurs aren't real.
Well, that's a good point though. Like it's. I think that's why you'd probably. I know Pikachu's a fake animal, but
Yeah,
that's my point. It's a broad.
yeah.
It's a fun.
If you want Pikachu to be the top contender, then you can't really like scoff at a dragon.
A lot of people said this. Skull and Bones Barbecue said your horse in Red Dead Redemption 2.
Well,
Which
he's
I-
more
in my
interesting than
case-
the other
which horse?
characters.
Hey,
It's more interesting.
girl.
Also, they die all the time, so you know.
Yeah, because I killed
Well,
them.
If you're a terrible horse owner, they die.
Well, their
I
testicles
mean-
get cold, and I have to put them down.
Rich, you do a good Arthur Morgan saying "Hey, girl" impression. Can you do that?
Whoa, girl! I haven't done this in so long. This is.
He's getting a little
Forever.
bit camera shy. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
no, it's not even that because like I've done it with you guys looking at me before. I'm just trying to think of how I did it. Oh,
We watch you.
easy, girl. I
Yeah,
did-
there you go. There you go. Easy.
That's not it. That's not it.
No, I used to have it so good. I can't do it right now.
I love the idea.
Yeah,
that
there's no
guy-
reason to because that
All
game
right.
came and went and will not be remembered.
Oh,
I
God,
nominate Dutch Vanderlyn as the best animal companion in Red Dead Redemption.
I love the idea that Rich is like, guys. Before I do my impression, I need you guys to look away. Okay. Like,
don't
peeing in the
don't
bathroom.
look at me.
I can't pee when people watch.
Morgan has
true
no
story,
problem with that.
I prefer when people watch. I pee better. I think stronger stream.
You always go up to a urinal right next to somebody and like stare them dead in the eye while you do it.
We're bonded at that point.
Leans against the divider.
Is someone fucking with me? Because somebody said, one of our patrons, JT Ruiz said, Shadow from Final Fantasy VI. That must be a joke, right? Shadow's a ninja, right? A
No,
human.
Shadow has a dog companion. That's probably what he's referring to.
Yeah,
A little
possibly.
confusing.
What was his dog's name?
I don't
know,
even
that's-
remember. But you know what I'm talking about? The
I know
little,
he
the
has his
like
name, but
Rottweiler
Yeah.
looking or Doberman. Is it a Doberman?
yeah, because they kind of stole that idea for 8 again, where whenever Shadow has got low health and something attacks him, there's a chance for his dog to come in and take the hit for him instead.
Oh, okay.
Sort of like they did with 8.
like Angelo from
Yeah, just like
Well-
Angelo. Like once you level up the dog bond, he's more likely to take a hit for you.
While we're on the dog category, because I was just reminded of this, I didn't want to forget this. While Persona games often have like quote unquote animal characters, the one with the most purely this is clearly an animal is in Persona 3. One of the Persona users is a literal dog named Koromaru, like an actual like Shiba Inu.
yeah.
Named
What about
Koromaru,
Morgana?
and Morgana is
Morgana?
not an actual cat though. Morgana takes the form of a cat when in the real world, but Morgana is not a cat.
Actually, a bus.
Yeah, exactly. Actually, a bus.
No.
Whereas Koromaru is actually a Shiba Inu that happens to have a persona.
Mm-hmm.
So the best animal companion is actually a motor vehicle.
It's a
Got
dog.
it.
It's a dog. Yes, dogs.
It's a motor-
Best animal.
Also,
companions.
Koromaru's weapons are a
Suck
little
it,
kunai
cats.
knife he carries in his mouth.
Do you
He's best boy?
Who is Morgana seriously? Who is
That's
Morgana?
a question of like the plot of Persona 5. Like Morgana is very much what Teddy is, a manifestation of the shadow world.
Okay, so it's not actually a person you meet at some point.
Yeah,
like
Teddy, it's
Well, no,
more of
they're
a thing earlier on in the game. Like, what am I? And they make a big deal of
they,
it.
they make a big
before.
deal out of it towards the end with Morgana, but ultimately, like, the
Yeah.
answer is the same as it was with Teddy. Like, it doesn't matter what you are, what you were. Like, it matters,
Yeah.
like, what you did with the life you were given.
oh, so deep. I'm gonna cry.
It's really not that deep. It's just anime.
I mean, they kind of did
Sounds
that
like a line
with 3
from
as
Batman
well
versus
with the robot. You know, they keep doing that.
Yeah.
I guess, yeah.
It's
Yeah.
a recurring theme.
Shadow Murder Robot.
Mhm.
Cursivele, said Dogmeat, of course.
How
with
do
the
you
dress.
still
What the
not?
fuck?
It's to do it for fun. I do it for fun.
Do
Then
you?
say it right. Then say it right.
So, Shay, I'm no Fallout expert. I've heard of Dogmeat. I'm not really familiar with the game or the dog. I'm not being as sarcastic.
It's a dog.
Okay. So the idea is that
It's
it was
apparently where all the development time and went in that game.
was that Fallout 3?
Yes.
4.
No, 3. Dogmeat is 3.
There's Fallout 3 and Fallout 4.
Dogmeat in 4.
And I
He's in
believe
both.
Fallout New Vegas as well.
It's a
Oh,
different
okay, so-
dog in Fallout New Vegas. The dog's name is
Well, that-
Rex.
Oh,
Yeah, I didn't think he was in New Vegas.
That's right. That's right. You're right.
Good. You know, a reoccurring character I think is a strong, like Shay said, for maybe in the States or some other places in that second or third tier. That's a strong case for Dogmeat because it's a reoccurring character at least.
How are we still? I know Rich started this, so I'm going to forgive you, Morgan.
Mm-hmm.
Recurring.
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Reoccurring.
Recurring.
There's no in there.
What? I don't
No,
even
there's-
remember
there's
what.
not.
It's okay, Rich. Let's be wrong together.
But he was saying it
Um,
right that time. Then I've always
No,
said,
no. It's
like I
recurring.
okay.
I concur.
I mean, I know how it's spelled, but I always just said it that way because that's the word.
Is it? Is reoccurring also a word?
You can say recurring. You can say recurring
no, I know
over.
recurring is a word,
It's
but is
reoccurring and recurring.
also?
I think if,
We're gonna learn something, kids. Let's
I don't
learn
want to
something
learn.
together.
I didn't come
It's
here
in
to
a
learn.
dictionary.
Let's learn something together. All right.
It's It's a.
Recur. All right.
It's
well,
a
both
very-
words. They mean the same thing.
Yes.
Aaron.
Reoccur is the less common.
It's
Okay.
the form I've always used though, so I'll stand by it until the
Yeah.
end.
Yeah, but recur is generally
So
the common form of that. Anyway,
here's the actual literal thing here. So because Dogmeat appears once more in a game, it's reoccurring because it doesn't mean it periodically happens over time. It means it happens one other time or one or two other times.
Okay.
Recurring is something that continues to happen periodically. So in this case, Josh is right. It needs to be reoccurring because it doesn't
No,
happen
no.
over
No, that's
and
not what
over
Josh
and
was
over
saying.
again.
That's what I was saying.
I was saying the other thing.
That's what I was saying.
Mhm.
Well, you're wrong then.
Well, no.
It is,
Shay,
it
you're-
is what I just explained.
Yes. No. Regardless, I think we were all wrong because we didn't really know.
Not me.
But so
I wasn't wrong. I didn't say anything.
we used it accidentally correctly. But yes, of course.
You
Aaron
didn't.
Marie-
No, you didn't use it correctly in this sentence.
No, he did.
Recurring is not what you're using.
Recurring is not what he used.
I said reoccurring.
It needs to be reoccurring.
Yeah, that's what he
Yeah.
said.
Yeah, that's what I said.
Okay.
This latency is a bitch.
Okay. Good.
We'll chalk it up to latency because I know Shay loves me.
No, it's. No, it's.
Aaron Marie said, "Does BD1 count?" I don't know. Is that from Star? That's from Force. Oh no, I'm sorry, Force Awakens. That's from the new Star Wars game, right? BD1.
One.
BD1 is from the Star
It's
Wars
not the Alan
films.
Tudyk one, is it?
No, that's BD. No.
No,
BD8.
BD1 is like the floating
Oh,
one
is
from
wait no, is BD1 the
Force
one on your
Awakens, or
shoulder from
Fallen.
Fallen?
God, we
What
sound
a
like such
fuck.
terrible nerds right now. We're pathetic. I'm so sorry, Aaron.
No,
let
this is 100% on Lucas for having all those goddamn
I don't think he
things
has
start
anything to
with
do
B.
with it at this point.
Yeah, Lucas
No,
got
not
out
at
of
this
there.
point,
when he-
but like that class of droid all start with the same thing, and they're all too close. You can't remember that shit. Come the
Yeah.
fuck on, guys. Like
Let's answer her larger question. Could a droid?
Like we're
count
not
as
talking getting a Y wing and an A wing confused.
I don't
This
think-
is-
I don't think it counts.
I will say this to Aaron: if the droid is shaped like an animal, I'll allow it.
No.
If it's shaped like a
Which
robot,
droids are shaped like an animal.
None
I mean,
of
there's
them.
the there are those weird looking little scurrying, almost mice like looking
Mouse droids?
cleaning droids. But
You mean the
that's
ones
about
that are
it.
the ones that are literally called mouse droids?
Exactly. Yeah.
Here's my point: isn't there a robot dog in Mega Man?
Yeah. What does that have to
So
do
my
with the
point-
Yeah,
conversation?
Dogman.
I would consider that and dog.
Well, no.
dog-
Rush is not a
Double.
Rush is an actual dog with robot components, the way like Mega Man is an actual boy with robot components.
Yeah, he's a cyborg.
cyborg, yes. So, but what I'm saying is, I would allow that, and I would allow okay. There are Pokemon that are not like fleshy, like Porygon. I would still consider that an animal
Not
companion. 'cause
fleshy. Sounds like you've thought about this way too much. I don't.
Yes, I have.
I don't want to know why you have a categorization of which Pokemon are fleshy. That.
Well, it's all in this compendium.
I get your point, Morgan. I get your point because you look at something like Horizon Zero Dawn, which all those
Yeah.
mechs are shaped like animals.
Yeah.
So in that case,
But
yes,
I
I get
wouldn't
your
count those.
we
Tails
could
shaped
come
like an animal.
across. We could come across.
I
the
would
game-
definitely count those.
Yeah, I would. And we could come across. We could come across the game with a robotic animal, and I was saying that I could see counting that. That's what I'm saying. So yeah, I agree. Let's see. Let's got some other good ones here. By the way, also
I
AJ
changed my
said
mind.
dog.
I'm with Josh. It's Tails.
AJ said, so Rex. This is a kind of a sad one. Somebody said the horse from Shadow of the Colossus. Probably not top tier, but definitely they make
Yep.
that.
What? The only top tier one.
Yeah, they make you care.
They do make you.
I care now. Now I care.
Alice, of course, in The Last of Us Part 2.
Who is that?
Shadowmere from
No, that's
Oblivion
not
is
a
another
joke.
really good
Who the
horse.
hell is Alice?
It's the dog that Ellie stabs. That is Abby's dog. What'd you say, Shay? What was the something?
They name so many of those fuckers that you don't give a shit by the end. Is Alice the one that has a story
Same.
name?
No, I was saying Shadowmere from Oblivion is another really good horse.
I like Shadowfax.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah,
Gandalf's
Shadowfax
horse.
is great.
I like Bill the Pony better.
It's a good pick.
I was just trying to. I didn't want to forget anything.
Almost made you spit your water out.
You did. You were close.
Oh wait, we had. Oh my God, there's a lot more I missed. A bunch of people, including the Larisse, said Pikachu, which is probably our leading. Oh my God, Sector 7 said Van from Final Fantasy 12. Now,
Yes! Yes, I love it.
That does explain the character arc.
He's just an
Character
excited little
arc.
puppy with a dagger.
Vaughn. I'm sorry.
Airship.
Vaughn.
Airship.
That actually brings up a really good question though for us. Like for example, Red 13 from Final Fantasy 7. Technically is an animal. Technically is a companion, but I wouldn't see it as an animal companion because you control him.
And he has
And
culture.
like the level of intelligence that creature has seems to kind of surpass that like animal companionship.
What about
But
Kate
could technically
Sheath, which
be
is a
considered
robot that looks like an animal?
Yeah, I personally don't, but I wouldn't like think you were crazy if you did consider him.
Is everyone
Yeah.
jarred that I'm here purposely pronouncing Kate Sheath
Yeah.
correctly?
No, I'm not.
Get ready for it.
Kelly,
Part 2. Everyone will be floored.
Yeah.
Kelly Amateur Eating said, "Does Link's Fairy count?"
Irish pronunciations don't exist.
I wouldn't consider
that's
a
a myth. That's a myth perpetuated by the Irish.
Stupid
a
IRA.
Oh, before we talk about this fairy, well, actually, a fairy is a mythological creature like a dragon, so I could see you counting that. But there's also a giant fairy that you want to fuck with.
Fairies
huge
are
boobs.
also not animals.
No one wanted to fuck that terrifying fairy.
Yeah, no one
I
was
did.
sexually aroused by that.
Are you kidding? That was
just
the
thought it'd
most
be-
horrifying creature
it'd be fun
on
to,
the
like, swim in there and just
entire
see what's going on,
N64.
We
With
had
like
very-
that
very
leopard
different childhoods.
print, and there's no smell-o-vision on the N64, but you could smell the cheap perfume on that fairy, couldn't you?
Yeah, I was there.
Like
I was
the
floating.
instant it comes on screen, you can smell that.
We
like,
don't shame. We don't
Mhm.
shame. We don't shame that.
And I
But
had
we
the matching
do
cheap
bring to
cologne,
people's
so-
intention.
I want to say this because we did, as far as like the horse and Red Dead, which meant a lot to me. I remember distinctly watching this stream with one of our old podcasters, Fish, in which he got down and crouched under the horse, and we both just admired the just size and shape and hang and just sweaty, hairy detail of these giant bulbous horse testicles. And I was blown away by the detail of this game. Like the world they created in Red Dead Redemption 2 was incredible, but not until I saw those horse testicles was I
Would've been
thinking it was
nice
the
if they made a
technical
game
achievement
too, but
of
yeah,
generation.
the world was
So,
great.
yeah, and so once I saw those testicles, I knew technical achievement of the generation. There's even the sway back and forth. There was just nothing quite like them. What's that thing called in a clock? A pendulum? It was like a hypnotic pendulum that I was entranced with. So yeah, that's one thing I didn't want. It was important to say.
Now we know why you were so obsessed with the game.
Who wouldn't have been? Who
You
wouldn't?
were mesmerized. You're hypnotized.
Yeah.
Actually, on the real, Crumpkey said the white horse from Red Dead 2. Now, people don't know this. There's a really mythical, rare horse you can get in Red Dead. It's a beautiful white horse that people really try to get, but it's again, it's a more obscure thing. It's like counting the golden chocobo. It's very hard to get, you know.
I mean, now, it's not hard to get. You just have to know where it is, which is kind of.
Well, yeah. I mean,
also like the golden chocobo. Well, that one's a little bit of randomization, but anyway.
Yeah, I had to turn off my PlayStation over and over to get that stupid fucking thing.
I mean, you could just keep breeding them. You don't have to do that, but anyway.
I don't really remember what I did.
Not unless you're.
Can we mention a few of our favorites now?
Well, I thought they would have come up. I'm so sorry. What would you like to mention?
Well, yeah. The conversation didn't really prompt for it, so I was trying to save them. No, a few of my favorites would have been. I wrote them down because I wanted to make sure I didn't forget. I'm not leading up to any jokes here, I promise. I literally wanted to make sure I didn't forget. I was telling Josh before the show, Dusty from Gravity Rush 2 is an awesome animal companion because he's the one who gives Cat her powers in Gravity Rush, but also he's this cat that looks like the galaxy inside of him. He's really cool. It's a really cool animal companion, and there's some really cool interactions with him.
You can see the universe
and Cat throughout the game.
Somebody has to.
Yeah.
Josh, I'm really surprised of all people to say that that was you. But you're not wrong. Another one that I wanted to mention is Boomer from Far Cry 5. I know a lot of people like the bear.
I wrote down that one. Yeah, Boomer was good.
Yeah, Boomer still to this day is my favorite dog companion in all of video games.
He's not as good as the shovel, but
I looked it up, guys, because I wanted to know. Shadow's dog from Final Fantasy VI is Interceptor.
Okay.
What a nerd.
So they just named him after what he does because he shows up
intercepts
to intercept hits occasionally.
Games were so bad.
Just very literal.
Oh my god, you were such
literal.
dog shit.
They were on the nose.
I'm just trying to troll Rich. I'm sorry.
And
that's a good name for
one more
big dog like that though. Interceptor.
Maybe
that's a good dog name for that. It's very literal, but also that's a good dog name.
True. One last one I want to mention because I think that I'm probably one of 5 people in history who would ever mention this. I really liked the animal companions in Torchlight 1 and 2. Basically a Diablo-like game. It's very similar to like a Palico in Monster Hunter, where basically the creature just goes around and helps you attack and carry stuff with you.
Yeah.
But the thing is, for me, when I would play those games back in the day, as like you get a warning, your animal companion is about to die, and I always went into panic mode as soon as that happened. Like I would stop fighting whatever it is I was fighting, run over to my animal companion, and want to heal it immediately. That game, always made me feel the emotional heft of putting my animal companion in danger. Say what you want about the game if you do or don't like it, but they did. For me, I really enjoyed the animal companionship in that game. So there are a lot of other good animal companion choices out there. I love when games do that. Like somebody in our chat here on Twitch mentioned Angelo from Final Fantasy VIII, which is another great choice. But those for me, those are just some of the ones that have stuck out for me.
Yeah, those are good choices.
I love how he calls that the true interceptor after we literally just explained that they stole that from 6 because they're like, oh no, that was a good idea. What if we just stopped having those and
as long as
the ones we already had?
As long as we're putting robot animals as viable on the table, I would be remiss not to mention Blade Wolf from Metal Gear Rising.
Huh. Not familiar with that game at all.
That's pretty good.
It's a robot dog what's got swords.
Okay, so you're on the robot dog train now.
If we're counting that, I'm not going to not mention Blade Wolf.
Well, you were on the opposite side of the fence earlier, but now you're on the side.
I see Rush in chat. We mentioned Rush, but Rush is good. Rush is a good pick.
Yeah, I to be honest with you guys, there's a lot of them that I love in games with choice, like Pokemon or like in World of Warcraft. I loved taming like Humar and stuff like that. Like, there's a lot of games that allow you to tame creatures.
Metrosexual lion.
Yeah, that's
great guy.
Yep. That for a metrosexual cat. Any game that allows you to tame a creature in the wild and make it your own.
That's an old joke. I had to bring that one back.
Yeah, no, we'll be the only two people that get it. I enjoy having that customization in those games, but like there wouldn't be things people would know. So it's like that's why I kept leaning toward Pikachu. I think.
I don't know. For the longest time on basically the oldest server on WoW that stuck around for years, there was an alliance hunter who I would bump into for forever. Named Darkwing Duck, and whatever their pet was at any given time, it was always named Launchpad. So for decades, I would just randomly stumble across this.
Should have named it Webigail.
Yeah. Stumble across this alliance hunter named Darkwing Duck with his companion Launchpad.
Let's get dangerous.
Now I got the DuckTales theme.
That was on Arthas.
That's not DuckTales. It's Darkwing Duck. You son of a bitch.
I hear ducks, and that's what happens. Woo! It's all over. Just say duck.
Although they had the Darkwing Duck episode of the new DuckTales was really good. How they had them.
All the stuff they did with that was great.
It's a loophole, but Diddy Kong might be the best animal companion.
I mean, I already.
If it's the same species as you, it doesn't. It definitely doesn't count.
Yeah, I mean, you can make the argument with a fox and a hedgehog, but a monkey and another monkey, that's a stretch there.
It's an animal companion. That's all I'm saying.
That's called slavery.
If you find love in your animal
companion, she's an animal, technically.
Yeah, if you want to.
Clementine is the best animal companion.
What do you mean? How? What are you talking about?
Max or Sam from Sam and
Homo
Max.
sapien.
Oh God, Josh,
you're killing me. The best animal companion.
So I do think.
Yeah, Jay True said Luigi. He's right. Luigi, best animal.
Luigi, exactly.
Yeah, I mean, I honestly, okay, fine. If you want to do Homo sapiens, Josh, I'm gonna go BB from Death Stranding. There you go.
Well, you didn't even get the name right. Oh wait, I'm sorry. I was thinking of that's not even a person. That's a tool.
It's dark. The best animal companion we have.
Monster energy drinks from Death Stranding.
I see the message of Death Stranding really haunted you and stuck with you, Rich. I'm glad to hear that.
That bothers me much more after trying one of those fucking atrocious.
I like them.
God damn.
What the Monster energy drink?
All right. I'm going into this because I mentioned this in the group chat earlier in the week that I tried Monster for the first time, and it is fucking atrocious.
Okay.
It is the worst thing I've ever experienced.
Okay.
There's way too much caffeine. B, they're fucking 16 ounces for some goddamn reason. You can't buy a smaller size than that. I threw away half of it because 8 ounces of that was about 8 times more than anyone would ever need.
Sometimes I have 2.
Oh, chill out, Kyle.
Whoa, Kyle.
And then on top of that, they taste like meadery and colored pencils, which, if you're a parent, you know this. Most people don't know this. Colored pencils smell like artificial baby shit.
You kind of lost me there, but I was with you up until the colored pencil part.
Yeah. No. That's what colored pencils smell like. They smell like artificially flavored baby shit.
That's what Crayola puts on their colored pencil box. It smells like real artificial Crayola shit.
Yeah.
I got lost in the Crayola factory when I was a child.
That explains the love for Monster.
To be fair, Josh, and I should have put this out when we were talking about it earlier. The Monster I have a day usually is a Monster Rehab, which is the non-carbonated,
so not the original flavor.
Yeah, it's the non-carbonated like half and half iced tea with energy, and it tastes nothing like what you're describing. It tastes like an Arnold Palmer with energy.
Yeah, no, that sounds fine, but the original flavor, the green classic Monster Energy, it is the worst thing I have ever tasted.
I'll have no baseline for that. I haven't had a green one in probably 15 or so years. I will have a blue one every now and then, which I know is much less like artificially sweet than the green one. Like I'm sure they're comparable, but at the same time, like I have no baseline for what the green one. I haven't tried the green one in almost like 20 years.
I'm one of very few people in the world who thought Death Stranding was good, but after trying a Monster Energy drink,
you've changed your mind.
My suspension of disbelief has completely evaporated. Like the fuck.
This week's Chompcast is brought to you by Monster Energy.
Bridges.
Monster Energy.
The fuck, Bridges.
Unleash the monster in you.
No, Bridges. No.
Monster.
No one's drinking that much Monster Energy.
Why are you so mad at Jeff
surviving.
Bridges?
Look, if you really want to go with, there's a game where you just have a village of animal companions, and that's Animal Crossing. I mean, you're just all companions living in a perfect
Some
society.
of them are exploiting you financially.
Mm-hmm. And some of them are having sex with you. So it's
that's definitely not true.
Ah,
what game are you playing on your Switch, Morgan?
What are you thinking of? Oh God, no.
Oh, he's thinking of Honey Pop.
Honey Pop 2, yeah.
No,
I like it for the puzzles.
I don't have Honey Pop. I don't know how to get her to my island, but I'll look into it.
We literally, really? We talked about this for a couple weeks in chat about.
I didn't understand.
And in Discord about Honey Pop 2 just came out, and that's got a really cool double date sort of.
No, he's making a joke about how he wants to get a Honey Pop to his Animal Crossing island. Is what he's.
I don't think he is.
Honey Pop sounds confused. No, Honey Pop sounds like it. I was making a joke, but Honey Pop sounds like it could be. I know there's no creature called Honey Pop. I was just making a joke that it sounds like the name of a silly animal. It sounds like
Honey Pop is 100%
Honey Pop,
what
Honey
Isabella
Pop,
is drinking.
Honey Pop
at her desk all day.
It's a bee pop star that's moved into my town.
That's a gin and tonic. Hold the tonic.
Anyways, let's put a wrap on this
it is orange. It is orange, so it's probably just, a 16-ounce glass of whiskey to get through the day, putting up with your
Been
bullshit.
there, done that.
Mm-hmm.
We can put a bow on it because you have to donkey punch Yoshi. I think Pikachu is indeed the greatest animal companion of all time.
You think Pikachu would put up with that? Pikachu would quit.
Yoshi wins because he's so docile. I didn't think we were coming in here to decide what we thought the best one was. I just thought we were here to talk about
it. We did both. It was just a fun wrinkle.
I mean, it sounds like you did. I don't really agree with you.
Fun wrinkle. Is that the name?
Rich, I thought you were fun guy. Why are you trying to shit on my
he was talking about Red Dead's horse balls earlier.
Who the fuck told you I was the fun guy?
Speaking of wrinkles.
Rich, you used to be fun guy. What happened?
You drained that from me.
Fun guy? Are we talking about our favorite mushrooms in video games?
Oh, I love a good fun guy.
So clever. Oh, Lord.
He's offended by mushrooms now.
Congratulations.
What a piece of garbage.
This guy.
I just thought it'd be fun to kind of sift through it. But yeah, there wasn't when I was doing.
Are those just too gross, like crabs?
Got him. What a little bitch.
Gross.
Mushroom.
I'm gonna lick all the crustacean poop out of.
You going break?
Yeah, let's take a break.
You devein crustaceans.
If you're listening to the podcast, we'll be back in just a few short minutes. We're going to have a bio break, and we will return. So we will see you on the flip side.
We're kind of back. I got to make Shay big. Haha. Sorry, everyone.
Make me big.
Focus.
Make me big.
Make me big.
You're big.
It's my favorite corn song. I feel the reason.
Oh, hang on,
that's Morgan. Oh, that's Shay.
No more HUD. There you go.
My face is covered by the
I'll work
swordchomp
on
thing.
this later, but
Shay, you're still far away this week.
You can save whole scenes. At least I think you can.
I'm always gonna be far away. That's just how my setup's gonna work.
you know what you should do? Because you have a nice bed there. But you
all
have
right.
Far away.
you have a big empty space behind your
Doesn't
shed. You should put
anybody
something
stay
there.
in one place anymore? I got ice cream.
You get you a
There are a bunch of
picture. or
pictures up
something.
here.
I've got an ice
Yeah,
cube
they're out of
that
frame.
really is jonesing for some bourbon to go with it. Here you go,
Okay.
little ice
Well,
cube.
anyways, so really quickly, because of the 10 subs from Mr. Danny Dunsky, I'm here to do my hot sauce covered banana. I'm not even gonna fuck with the smaller, less spicy hot sauces. So I have a feeling I know what's gonna be picked, but just for the sake of hoping that it isn't picked, 2 choices today. We have Punch Drunk, this beautiful chocolate ghost pepper hot sauce that's almost gone, that I love it. And then we have Blair's sudden death sauce.
It's such a hard choice.
So I'm gonna leave it up
Such
to
a hard choice.
I'm gonna leave it up to both chat and you guys. Which one we do?
I vote for the one that's.
I don't even know if anybody's still here in chat, but
People are
Yeah,
here.
my daughter finished off the rest of my punch drunk sauce
that was all.
because she liked that one so much. Like I got a bottle of that a while ago, and that's one of her favorite sauces. So she just demolished
good.
that bottle. It's a good hot sauce.
It's really, really good. I put it a lot of it in my curry whenever I make curry because it goes really well with curry.
Okay.
Japanese style curry, that is, because it's
okay,
sweeter.
Okay. Yeah. Because that's got way more sweetness from all the carrots in there. Yeah. Okay. Yeah. I see that now.
Yeah. I mean, if you're doing Indian curry, no, you wouldn't want to mix those two.
You get enough sweetness from like the cinnamon and whatnot in there. I mean, it's not sweet, but it's the same sort of sensation.
Right. All right, I'll just do the fucking Blair Sun Death sauce.
There we go.
All right.
Oh god, that fucking smell. Every single time I smell that gives me war flashbacks. Fucking
And you weren't even in a
I
war.
hate this hot sauce so much. I went to war with this hot sauce back in my Twitch days. I'm gonna do a
Each other's backs.
not a super thick line. I'm gonna do a fairly thin line because we still have a podcast to do. But yeah, I haven't done this for a while.
I'd be so impressed if you just snorted it off the banana.
He keeps calling it a line of
Yeah.
hot sauce. Exactly. I'm thinking the same thing. Like, no. That's a bad idea.
I would be going to the hospital. I wouldn't be doing podcasts anymore. But without further ado, Danny, thank you for the 10 subs. Sandwich, thank you for the 5 subs. Jay Treese, I know you're not here anymore, but if you're watching this later, thank you for resubscribing. And here's the hot sauce
Puts
banana
his
that I'm
floor
trying to
off of
stall
him
because I don't
having
want to
another
eat.
one of these at the end of the show. Just
Don't
putting
say
that
that.
out there for anybody else interested.
Fuck.
I mean,
Oh
honestly,
fuck! I haven't eaten this
somebody
hot
else
sauce.
could be forced into doing it.
You know, we didn't have to do this for the Chompcast. You're just making your life difficult.
Is he?
Yes?
It's for posterity's sake.
I don't know what that word means.
I feel better already.
Forgot how much I hate the sauce.
Do it for the vine.
That's what my wife says every time.
Why would you say that?
Huh.
We call it man sauce around here.
Oh god, I hate the sauce.
Huh. Maybe stop eating garlic right before. Yeah, you got options. Like
I'm not. No, I'm just kidding. She said actually has no flavor.
Eat a
She said it's
stock
flavorless.
of celery.
It would be cool if you could make
No,
it.
she's lying to you.
I mean, it's possible. I don't care. She's the one who wants to suck it. I'm not.
I'm in hell.
She's a nice lady. A wonderful
She is a
woman.
classy lady. I'll give her that. She puts up with you.
All right.
Better than me.
That is a
That's-
lot.
It's a big asking price.
Thank you again to Danny
I am a lot.
Sandwich,
I'm very filling, if you know.
Jay
what I mean.
Treese.
All right, let's let this guy cool down and bring us back to the force.
You
spread.
can go back to normal now.
Mm-hmm.
I'm gonna be dying.
That'll be a fun Easter egg in the final audio show when everybody's like, "Why does Shay sound out of breath in this back half?"
I don't know if you saw those.
Yep.
Rich. I think you're the only one who would know how to play with me. I mean, Shay might have learned while he's there, but play some koi koi or something.
Oh, Yakuza taught me how to play lots of
Boy,
stuff.
boy.
Forced me to learn.
Forced you, yes, exactly. I got a couple decks actually. I got the Napoleon deck, which is like their premium thing.
Yeah,
I-
you
I
sent me
could-
that one earlier.
Morgan, whenever you're ready.
I couldn't avoid getting
Okay. Let me know when we're live.
We've been live the entire
Oh
time.
shit! That's my favorite kind of introduction.
the
We're
Mario
live, I guess.
themed one as
Ooh.
well.
No, so we are back. Thank you, Shay, for eating that hot sauce banana, which apparently is a tradition now for the Chompcast. If you give us 10 subs while we're doing the show,
It's the first time he's watched our stream.
Shay has to eat a hot sauce
Yeah,
banana.
so
Nobody
how would
else.
you know?
Just Shay. So thank you so much for
Fuck
that.
you.
Now, I want to build up a little bit to Monster Hunter Rise. If you're listening, I know that's the big game of the week. Really briefly, though, Rich said he had some impressions on this other game that's supposedly a AAA game as well. That's what people tell me.
That's what they tell me as well.
I don't think it's real.
Yeah, I've played a little bit of Outriders. And right off the bat, I'll say it's published by Square Enix. It is from People Can Fly, who you might know as the Bulletstorm folks, the Gears of War Judgment folks. It is a third-person cover shooter looter with like some class-based stuff in it. I was really apprehensive to get into this at first because at first glance it looks like another Destiny-like, and ain't nobody got time for that. Upon doing some research, I learned that it is not a live game, and that immediately made me go, "Okay, I will play this." There is some.
Is it not?
It's not a live. It's not a live
they're-
game.
All the advertisements make it
Seem
look
like it is. It is
exactly
Wait,
like
so it's like Godfall.
No, it's the gameplay's pretty good. It is not a live game. It has an end game. Like once you beat the story, my understanding is there is some like almost raid like stuff or strike like stuff you can group up for, but it is not a live game in the sense that like we're gonna keep pushing content.
Yeah,
like,
they're not planning on shoving.
It has an end. And all the classes seem to work pretty well together. I'm digging it so far. Tonally, some of the story stuff was very eye rolly for me. The basic setup of it is we have destroyed the Earth in the future. You know, that's a pretty easy buy.
So reality.
So basically, humanity sent out like sort of colony ships and put people in cryo, and you're like the first party landing on this planet, Enoch. And through the tutorial, you land on basically this very pretty Earth-like looking planet. In the tutorial, shit hits the fan real fast, and in order to save your own life, you end up getting put back in cryo. At which point, you're pulled out 31 years later, and shit has gone
Demolition Man.
Shit has gone real Mad Max in the time you've been asleep. The most eye-rolly moment for me is you walk out of the room you were put in cryo in at the beginning of the game, and just to show you how bad things are now, written in spray paint on the wall is "fuck you," and I immediately just like, ugh.
Was like,
I don't know. After seeing all the Corona graffiti, all these game world designers have gotten so much more slack from me after seeing how on the nose we were with all of our commentary.
I guess that's fair.
That reminds me, this will be like a 10-second anecdotal thing. It just reminds me of like when they have to tell you something so obvious, like in Kong vs. Godzilla. After the second fight, the guy literally looks to the other character and goes, "I guess Kong took round 2." Like, thank you for stating the obvious.
Oh, was he
shit.
the winner?
Why? Why am I watching this garbage? Go ahead.
That movie was enjoyable. Way more enjoyable than King of Monsters.
Oh, King of Monsters is an atrocity.
It's terrible. It's so bad.
Now, Kong of Skull Island, not bad.
Kong Skull Island's fun. Now, anyway, back to video games. Like, the shooting feels tight, which is kind of what you expect from People Can Fly. All that. The thing, some of it seems counterintuitive in the sense of the cover shooting works really well, but depending on what class you're playing, like, it's really worthwhile to get out of cover and use your abilities more. I'm playing as the Technomancer, who is a long-range focus character who abilities range from stuff like being able to throw down turrets and shit like that. But
so I can probably throw a couple questions to kind of help you along too. So this, if at first glance, this is just sort of traditional third-person cover shooter, correct?
Yes.
Akin to a Gears of War.
Yeah.
Okay. And is it heavily RPG driven as far as like?
Yeah, as far as loot and skill trees. After the tutorial is when you pick your character class, when you become one of the, I think it's like, I forget what the fucking terminology they use at this point is, like tainted or something like that, and you get these powers.
Do you customize your character? Like you get to change their look and everything?
Yeah, you fully customize your Outrider. Awoken, I believe you're one of the Awoken, and
wait, they stole that from Destiny. They can't do that.
No, they did not.
Aren't they called the Awoken in Destiny, or am I fucking that up?
Guardians.
No. There's like a race of people called the. I'll look it up. I think they're called the Awoken. Like the queen,
like something in
the queen with the white hair
9 out of 10
in Destiny.
No, those are the
RPGs.
The elf people. I forget what they're fucking called. Doesn't matter. We're losing the thread here. Doesn't matter. Don't care. I'm completely lost what the fuck I was talking about. The character class shit is what changes it up the most. I played around with like 2 of them because when I first played the demo, I tried the Pyromancer, which is the very like straightforward like DPS like fire based abilities, and now I'm playing the Technomancer, which is like I said more support focused. And one of the more interesting changes I thought is each character class regains their health differently.
That's neat.
Like the Technomancer just gets back a portion of the damage they're dealing, and that's how he gets health back.
Okay.
And he's a very ranged focused build, so that kind of makes sense. I haven't played enough to really flesh out the skill trees much, but like so much of it does seem like squad based. Like I need to try linking up with some people at some point because some of the cooler bits seem to be the way those powers interact with each other. Like there's, I think it's in the Technomancer skill tree is like you can sort of throw down this shield, but you can also say throw that shield down around enemies and then have the Pyromancer light it up with flames, and the flames will be contained to that sort of like stasis field. Like it seems like there's cool ways for the abilities to play off each other, and there are, I want to say 5 classes. There's the Pyromancer, the Technomancer, the Trickster, I can't remember the other 2 names. And then there's a very like and a Devastator, I believe. Those might be I believe it's 4. Those are them, yeah. And they all seem to have like some very pretty interesting abilities. Like I can't speak much on the story. Like so far the world in the 31 years later future is very burnt out, and some of the trailers suggested the environments differ a lot as it goes on. If that's the case, it could end up being a really pretty world. The more troubling thing right now is they need to get their servers straightened out, because you like wait in a queue to get in when it starts up or something, and so sometimes it takes a long time, and then I got randomly kicked out while I was playing at one point the other night, and I had to start from like 15 minutes back. So like
so it's not a live service game, but
it's always but it still requires you to always be online. Like why?
Fuck that. Like,
why?
Fuck, no, that sounds like they were making a live service game and realized it was shit and canned it. They're like, we're not gonna pay for servers for this, but we still have the fucking server.
That stuff
check
baked in, yeah.
Yeah, that. Okay, like you had me sold on it's the Bulletstorm guys because, okay, they make like.
And that's if they can patch that out in the back end so it doesn't require it always be on live. Like this,
just let it run on our side if they're not going to have it be a live service thing.
Yeah, agreed, 100%. Because otherwise, there's no reason to need it. And the moment to moment gameplay stuff is really fun.
Yeah. That's frustrating. It does. It sounds like they were going in another direction,
but I can at least say
course corrected it.
The story stuff seems like heavy enough, like in the what you expect out of Square direction, that it makes me go like, if they were planning on this being a live game at once, they definitely enrich the world in the main story more to like deviate away from that stuff in the right ways. But maybe some of that infrastructure that was like early engine baked in stuff had to stick around, and hopefully they can pry that shit out, because it's disruptive at this point is all it is.
Yeah, I don't know. That worries me, because if they already scrapped the idea of it being live service at this point, who knows what they're going to fix if it sounds like they're cutting their losses. Because, I mean, that was... Anthem had a lot of interesting threads opened with the tiny bit of story they were able to put in the actual game during the 6 months where the thing was finalized and they knew which direction they were actually going. The writers did a phenomenal job given the constraints of that travesty.
Totally.
But then because they just gave up on the game, none of those threads ended up going anywhere, and that's kind of what worries me about this.
Yeah,
Anthem it already looks like they're changing directions. So...
I was getting Anthem vibes from like just the general buzz about this game that I've heard, but is it loot driven? Does colorful loot explode?
It's loot, and you're changing your gear constantly, and all the loot has visual aspects. I got a nice duster going right now.
What's the aesthetic though? Like, is it something? Is it shiny, weird?
It's grimdark. You'd love it.
Yeah, no, I just said it looks like Destiny. They made Destiny while listening to new metal.
Yeah, actually, you know what? Yeah, that's a great description.
Motherfucker. New metal, rearing.
They spray painted the words "fuck you" on the wall. What do you think the aesthetic is?
That was literally the intro.
All right, now I gotta look. I would love to play this game. I just don't want to buy it.
I am playing it on PS5, Morgan, though. So if you manage to get a hold of it, I will play it with you.
It's a tall task. My life is short. I only have so many hours to live. Do I need to spend them playing Outriders? I don't know. I liked Godfall, so hey, miracles.
Well, Godfall's hot garbage. I don't know why you keep bringing it up.
When you say hot garbage, you mean a lot of fun. I got you.
No, I don't.
We mean someone left it in the microwave for far too long.
And now we have it's so bad we have to throw out the microwave.
You microwave your garbage? That's weird.
Yeah.
No, that's what happened with Godfall. Someone decided to microwave garbage.
And then
it was never a good idea, but they made that decision.
And now we have to throw it out.
And now we all have to live with it.
And now we have no microwave in the break room.
It is interesting, the metaphor hot garbage, because if you walk by a dumpster in the freezing cold, it doesn't smell very much at all.
Exactly.
Yeah, that's the point.
Yeah, that's why we have Thanksgiving near the end of the year, where you can stick that whole turkey carcass in the dumpster, and it'll be fine. It'll be fine until Tuesday when they pick it up.
Yeah.
Well, I just leave it out on the sidewalk for the Rat King.
So Outriders, okay.
Well, if you don't leave it out on the sidewalk for the Rat King, he's gonna come
inside to get it. Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
He won't pass over my house.
Exactly.
The thing that concerns me a little bit is like you can't even find a lot of reviews for this game now. So I don't know.
It's on the curb over your door frame, so he knows whenever he comes to look.
Like I was like Outriders. It has like 2 reviews. It doesn't even have I don't know what's going on. Like there's nobody.
I don't know how early their servers went live or how early codes or anything like that went out.
Maybe they intentionally held back because they were
I don't know. Sometimes that's the case. Sometimes it's hard to peg. Like, and again, I maybe played 2 hours. I'm not ready to. I'm gonna write a review for this. I am not ready to pass forward judgment on it yet. I can just say there's blatant problems, but as far as when I'm actually playing it, the fun I'm having, I'm hopeful.
Yeah, I actually, like I said, I'm really intrigued.
That sounds an awful lot like
$60
Anthem to me currently, because
that's what Anthem was at the start for me too. Yeah, but
yeah, like a lot of the ideas in there were great. Just the movement feels amazing, and then it didn't come together.
I think like the thing that got me to be like, all right, give it a shot, was when they're like, oh, it's not a live game.
Yeah, I can see the appeal there. I mean, that's how when Diablo 3, it's a different era, but that's how I remember people were incensed when Diablo 3 launched, and it was not a live game necessarily, but you had to be connected to the internet, and they kept crashing the servers that first couple days because so many people were playing it that people were real pissed about that at first.
Yeah.
Remember? So
it's baffling that I have to wait in a queue to play this game.
I think that, when games first launch now, no matter how prepared you are, you can look at the biggest companies out there like Blizzard. It just happens. Like, they're just not completely prepared.
I mean, it doesn't.
Well, Blizzard's busy hiring Trump cabinet members, so they'll figure it out.
Those fucking suck.
Well,
but
okay.
With most games, they work at launch.
But, okay, Josh, but my point is most AAA games financially should be able to make sure it launches well if they could. It's just sometimes there's nothing they can do about it.
They should, but because they're AAA games, they never will. Because they're AAA games. That's literally the problem with them. They never will.
Sounds like there's a little bit of a bias
because they don't because they don't
sounds like
they don't need
paying
to.
attention to reality
because you're gonna buy it anyway.
Well, most small independent games are not going to go for something as ambitious where it needs to be online.
They sold you the $85 version 8 months ago, so they don't have to worry about it being worth a shit at this point.
I think it's a pretty negative outlook to have. I don't necessarily agree with that. I'm not saying that 100% of the time. I just think a lot of these developers do have the right intentions. It just gets overloaded.
Well, that's not what he's saying. He's not saying nobody cares. He's saying at the end of the day, they don't have to.
Absolutely do.
He's talking about the people who
the
bankroll
developers
it.
have fuck all to do with it being AAA.
The people at the top of the publishing houses are the people that don't give a shit.
Mm-hmm.
Look, AAA developer, I got you. I got your back. I know it's
no, everyone has the AAA developers back.
We're not talking about the developers.
They're doing the best job they possibly can while working for Satan.
Big suits. Okay. All right. Well, we can agree to disagree on that. I just think that even nowadays, I'm just saying, even nowadays, I still often hear game did not run properly at server launch because of overload. That's what I'm saying. I still hear that quite often.
But again, that's the point.
That's why
smaller games.
That's why Monster Hunter had 2 stress tests before it went live.
Yeah, and it's a AAA game. What I'm saying is that your metaphor, Josh. I'm sorry, your example.
Monster Hunter is like a B game that has caught on.
Oh, it's Capcom, man. It's AAA. Like
it is Capcom, but like it was a B game series for forever until they decided to start pumping money into it recently.
Yeah, no, that's fair. That's totally fair.
But it's AAA now. Was a B game, I completely agree. Actually, overseas in Japan, I'd say it was always an A game. In America, maybe you viewed it that way.
Well, no, because even when it was coming out, that was kind of the area where Japan was like, should we all start making shooters? And then they all fucking started making shooters, and everything was fucking trash for a decade.
Well, I would say this
Monster Hunter. So
I wouldn't specifically say it was AAA in Japan, not here, because that doesn't make any sense. The game quality would be the same regardless. Well, it would. The game quality would be generally the same depending on where it's released.
In terms of like sales numbers, and popularity, I understand what you're trying to say.
Yeah. I feel like because it was so popular and it sold so well, and they were putting so much money into it, I always considered Monster Hunter AAA, just not as popular in the. So my larger point, Josh, is that a lot of those smaller games, and I'll say this succinctly, is that they don't have those issues. Like Outriders, because they're like a very small condensed game. They're not trying for some online thing usually that's super ambitious, and that's why. So they're going for different things. It's not about independent or AAA. It's just about what the game is going for.
What's the next game?
I mean, we've been talking about how amazing Deep Rock Galactic is, and their servers have always worked. Like it seems like a solvable problem at this point.
To be fair, they don't have dedicated servers. They use the servers of whatever platform they're on.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't even know what I would consider that.
The only reason you'd not do that is if you want to sell people's information.
Mm-hmm.
Like that's the only reason not to do. They're looking to steal more of our information to sell to people.
You're like, Steam's already selling my information. Just leave it to them.
I will say this, Josh, and we can move on. I think your point is well taken with Deep Rock Galactic. I just feel like that's more of an outlier. Most independent games are not going for something.
Should I talk about Deep Rock Galactic now?
No.
Why? No, I wanted to bring it up.
You know what? Actually, yeah, you gotta.
I wanted to briefly talk about, because I finally got to the deep dive content in Deep Rock Galactic, and I talked about Deep Rock Galactic either last week or the week before. That game's still fucking great. Josh and I will get back into it, and I will get to leveling Josh up after we finish It Takes Two on our streams. I finally promoted my first class. I promoted my engineer, which unlocked the forge, and it unlocked the weekly deep dives, which I ran for the first time with a few friends just last night. So the idea of deep dives might be my favorite thing to do in this now. Are once a week, these reset a deep dive and an elite deep dive. And the normal structure of a Deep Rock Galactic mission, and Josh, you'll have frame of reference for this, is the drop pod brings you in, you have a mission and a sub goal to complete, you call in the drop pod, you exit. In the deep dive, you go in and you have 2 main objectives and no sub objectives. And you need to complete both. And then you call in the drop pod, and instead of extracting you, the drop pod goes deeper. And you do that 2 more times before you pull out, with everything persisting.
Before you pull out.
So you get more objectives after that? Or,
it's like
or
you're
you
running.
Get to it. And
it's like you get more objectives. It's like you're running 3 missions in succession, but each mission has 2 main objectives rather than any sub ones, and resources persist through the entire thing. And
interesting.
It's one biome.
Are the resources? Sorry, go ahead.
It's one biome, but like biome effectors can change. Like the first area could have like low O2. The second one could have a shield dampening mod, or like it mixes things up.
New stuff can show up.
Yeah. And the other big unlock that comes with that is the rewards you get for doing deep dives are used at the new area, which is the Forge, which are these overclock modules. Which allows you to add overclocks to your weapons, which are things like I got one for my shotgun the other night that basically it alters the shotgun so it lowers its overall damage output, but increases the weak point damage and decreases spread. So overclocks typically are like 2 bonuses and a negative. You can very rarely get what's called a clean overclock, which is just all pure buffs. Yeah, and they're usually pretty ridiculous.
Every time you talk about this game, it just makes me want
so fun. It's so
just get sad.
It's so good. Josh, I think I've done almost all of the optional bosses you can encounter at this point, so I'll have to show you some of that stuff. Like stuff when we were playing, we cruised by and we were like,
we hit like 2 or 3 of them. Yeah,
we were like, I wonder what this thing is, and now I've pretty much figured out how to start most of those optional boss fights and optional objectives up.
Okay, cool, yeah.
Before we get, I'm gonna tease it more. More foreplay. Before we get to Monster Hunter Rise, I know that's what you're here for. Shay's been playing a little River City Girls.
Yes.
Girls are back in town. No, they're back in the city. Girls are back in the city.
Shay, please stop him.
No. I was enjoying it.
The girls.
No, yeah, I've been playing that. Josh had told me about it a few years back, and I had, weirdly enough, a while listening to the soundtrack, loving the soundtrack, never having played the game. Last year, Josh and I tried to play it co-op through Steam Share. It was just too glitchy to play a fast-paced game like that.
It's too tight.
I just kind of shelved it.
Latency from, a trans-Pacific connection.
Yeah.
Exactly. And they put it on Game Pass, and I've had it there for a few months now, and I had decided when I had some free time I would come back to it. Thankfully, I don't have anything major on the docket right now. Outriders is something that I will be digging into next week. But this past week, I've pretty much had a down week in terms of games. And so I decided, I'll get caught back up, or I'll try and get caught up, dig into my backlog a little bit. And River City Girls was something that I had picked up as being a not so narrative heavy game that I could play while I was editing the podcasts that I was editing this week. And I've really been enjoying my time with it. It's a really fun, cute game. Premises 2 high school girls Their boyfriends get kidnapped, so they go through the city trying to find their boyfriends. And it's the dialogue is funny. I mean, it's corny like anime, but it's also funny and cute at times. It's a brawler. It's a side-scrolling brawler, similar to something like a Streets of Rage.
It is a River City
or,
Ransom spin-off, if anyone's familiar with that series.
Would
Yeah,
you say
the Kunio games are a series that have kind of only really been big in Japan since the Nintendo?
But we did have
Original
River City
Nintendo?
Ransom here. Like when they talk about their boyfriends, those are the characters from River City Ransom.
Yes.
Yes.
This is a spin-off made by was it Way Forward that did this?
I believe so.
I think. Yeah. Yeah.
River City, Shay, would you prefer River City Girls or Streets of Rage 4?
As of right now, Streets of Rage 4. I think I would prefer Streets of Rage 4. Like, I'm not going to talk too much about that. We talked about that a lot last year. There's definitely some nostalgia that's doing some heavy lifting there. The music, I think, is a little bit better in Streets of Rage 4, though both games have phenomenal music.
Mm-hmm.
If you put a gun to my head, that'd be a tough pick. I like
Turtles.
I like the art style of River City Girls. It is very retro looking, but I like it a lot. I like, obviously, Streets of Rage 4 has a pretty flimsy story, whereas River City Girls has a pretty entertaining story. I've really enjoyed the story a lot more than I thought I would. The combat at a lot of times is tighter in River City Girls, but it also is a little bit less forgiving, and I think that's the primary reason why I would take, in your example, Streets of Rage 4 over this game. I was talking about it with the guys a little bit last night. In most games like this, when you are hit and you're falling to the ground, there's a level of invincibility that allows you to kind of collect and gather yourself. So like you fall to the ground, you can't be hit. Generally enemies can't juggle you in the air, and then you get back up. You have a brief, like half of a second to a second, to kind of reestablish position on the ground so you can continue to fight. Almost kind of like boxing in a way. This game can be really unforgiving in that enemies can juggle you in the air.
Wow.
And it's fucking frustrating.
Damn.
It's really fucking frustrating because there are certain bosses that have abilities that can get 10 hits in on you before you even hit the ground. And that's not a level of forgiving I enjoy. It's definitely made me frustrated at times. And there's an enemy type in here. It's like imagine like it's not like that, but it's kind of like that. The anime fans who have the little hoods with the little paws that come out of the hood. It's kind of like that. Though the paws and the hood is not connected. There's a little girl character enemy that you have to fight, and that character is relentless. Oh, will knock you down very easily and very quickly because it's a very fast character, and then that character's on you. So the second you get back up, it's trying to hit you again. It's very, very difficult to get back up.
You do
from
get
that enemy.
iframes
And-
once you get back up for I don't know, it's like a second or two, but it's
You're given a
only after
window,
you get
a
back
very
up
brief one.
until you attack again. Once you attack again, your iframes disappear.
Yeah.
But
I got a
the
serious
whole
question though
getting
about
juggled
that.
thing is rough in this.
About that, Shay.
Yeah,
Sorry
it
to
can be
interrupt
really
you.
rough. Go ahead, Morgan.
No, sorry, no, you're fine. I was just curious. When you get knocked down, do you get up again, and can they keep you down?
I knew this was coming, and I still wasn't ready for it.
I'm gonna
So
drink. I can't take
another
this. I'm gonna
thing
drink
about
the
the
whiskey
game that
drink.
Cheers, Rich.
Are they pissing the night away?
I'm gonna drink a cider drink.
Get a lager drink.
No, one of the cool things about the game, and it can kind of be a double-edged sword, is when you defeat certain enemies and they're about to die, if they're the last one on the screen, you can actually recruit them and you can summon them for like a quick attack. And each enemy that you summon, each enemy type that you summon has a different attack. Some of them are really, really beneficial, and some of them are a complete waste of your time. So, for example, that girl with the hood and the claws, that enemy type, super powerful to fight against. But when you summon it, its attack is so slow that it's almost obsolete to even try and basically acquire their help. Where there are some other enemy types that make it much more worth your time to basically acquire their help. I really like that system because
kind of like
it
the
basically
specials in Streets of Rage, where you like call them
companions.
Well, they're
Exactly.
not as strong as that. They don't do like a full
it's very
clear as like when you call the cops in Streets of Rage, but they're
No.
similar sort of concept.
No, I think, and that's kind of the trade-off there. Like, you're trading off, it's not as powerful as a screen clear like Streets of Rage, but you can call it consistently.
Yeah, they're easier to get.
After a waiting time. The downside is if your companion gets hit, only has 3 health or 4 health if you have a specific item. So, I don't have much more to say about the game. Honestly, I've really enjoyed my time with it. I'm almost finished. It's a shorter game. It's on the more difficult side of brawlers. The story is amazing. The music is top notch. The last thing I want to mention really quickly before we go, I can't remember the name. Josh, maybe you remember, or Rich, maybe you remember. The enemy that you go to fight, it's basically the concert. And it's Kyoka's former childhood friend that you go to fight. I can't remember her name, but
I do not.
that boss fight. It's like it's a mixture of like zombie and some other name kind of fused together. I just played it last night and I
remember
forgot.
the boss, but I can't remember the name.
I really like that. I don't know, but I really like that boss fight. It was really, really creative. Basically, for the first part, it looks like a Guitar Hero screen where the notes are coming at you and you have to dodge them. And then the boss comes off the stage and tries to hit you with these various sonic energy attacks. And meanwhile, there are fans slowly crawling out of the crowd trying to attack you as well. And it was just such a really cool, innovative boss fight. It really stuck out to me a lot. Yeah. Some of the boss fights in here are good. Some of them are so-so, but that one was super innovative for me. And I really enjoyed it. And that's been the high point of the game so far for me. It was a very difficult boss fight, but it was super fun. And it was rewarding to finish it. So yeah. If you like brawlers, I definitely say this is worth your time, especially as of right now, it's on Game Pass. It's on the harder side of brawlers as well. So definitely check it out.
Brawling it. All right, the moment you've all been waiting for, the big one. Spread your Rich, Monster Hunter Rise. Now, as I was saying, Monster Hunter Flaccid. Try to lift me, get me excited about. Should I be excited about Monster Hunter Rise? Can you excite me?
I don't know. You don't really play Monster Hunter, so the easy answer is no.
Whoa! I put like 100 hours into Monster Hunter World, so I am hurt by that.
There's loot, so it should be your thing.
Yeah, that's true.
But it's also hard, so it shouldn't be your thing.
Ooh, it's tough.
Looting the corpses of animals.
Yeah, for the uninitiated, Monster Hunter is about killing giant monsters and wearing their skin. I have dug into Monster Hunter Rise. Good and bad. I want to get out of the grave. Like, not necessarily bad for me, but bad overall, I would say. Or like, compared to a Monster Hunter World, this is definitely a much harder game to get into. Because and there are probably a few important things to note here. Like, This game, it's definitely one of the best looking things I've seen on the Switch. And on top of that, like performance wise, it's quite impressive. Like load times are almost non-existent. Like they found another processor on the Switch somewhere. I don't know how the fuck they're doing this.
You're playing undocked.
Well, I mean,
usually?
the thing's running off of SD cards. They should be fairly fast.
But they haven't been in the past, so I'm impressed by it.
Yeah, that always baffles me how some games. I mean, part of it's going to be which SD card you buy, but also
well, and the
some
developer
games seem to do significantly better.
like
Yeah.
Super Smash Brothers
with how
runs
they
like
handled that.
beautiful. Yeah.
That's also a totally different game scale wise. Like what this game is doing is way more
scale-wise,
impressive.
It has to load like what, 100 by 100
Look,
meter level.
Gandalf
Like,
has a big
at the
sword.
most?
All right.
Who is
It's a big
Gandalf?
sword.
The wizard from Lord of the Rings? He's not in Smash.
and all of 100 assets. Like there's nothing to load in Smash.
I can't believe I called Gandalf. It's been too long.
Yes. So anyway, Monster Hunter Rise.
I should have Gandalf in there.
The main
That's his ult in Smash. You shall not pass. Burns the whole stage.
Balrog
that'd be-
appears.
That'd be sick.
Okay, so Monster Hunter Rise, it takes a lot of the good quality of life stuff that Monster Hunter World did, which I can really appreciate. Like the persisting whetstone instead of that being a disposable item.
Yeah.
God.
The big cohesive world with monsters interacting and stuff, more than like just loading into these separate smaller hunts.
Mm-hmm.
There's obviously a lot more monsters in this one. The new thing for people returning that I'm still kind of, it's good. It's just getting used to it is the wire bug. So
Yeah.
Monster Hunter,
Grappling hook.
It's a grappling hook, but I think it's better than the clutch claw from Iceborne, in that I think it's a little more balanced and a little more practical. So basically, the way the wire bug works is you have 2 wire bugs on I want to say 15-second cooldown each. And one of the easy ways to use this is you can use it to either pull you straight up or pull you straight forward and sort of move around and dodge quickly. The other purpose it has is every weapon has a second set of moves tied to using your wire bug in conjunction with them. Like I've been messing around with a switch axe, and it has a move where you propel yourself forward with the wire bug, sort of ensnaring the monster, and then get a quick spin attack with the switch axe on. And then beyond that, the bigger and like more impressive use of the wire bug is using the wire bug in that way starts to sort of ensnare the monster in the steel silk, as they call it, of the wire bug. And if you get a monster stunned in a way that it is ensnared, you can use steel silk to mount the monster. And now you're basically riding on a monster's back, and you can either charge it into walls to damage it. You can attack other monsters, like it has a light and a heavy attack you can use. And obviously this doesn't last forever, it's on a timer. But it becomes a new, interesting way to significantly chunk monsters, and also it gives you a good reason to want to lower monsters in together. Because much like they did in World, I would say even more so than World did, I stumble upon monsters fighting all the time and start thinking about how I can lower the bigger monsters closer to each other to start doing some real damage and take them down.
That's cool, because that's always been something that's like been part of the world, but
you never got to engage with it much.
You don't really, as far as something interactive, it's more a cool thing than something you take advantage of in a lot of ways. Because like as soon as you start fighting, they're both fighting you, sort of stuff.
Yeah,
cool.
Exactly. In terms of, I think pure convenience and good changes, I like Pyreflies are no longer a thing for monster tracking. Instead, you have another additional animal companion called a Kahoot, which is this owl you can sort of like launch up to just survey the map.
Okay.
And once you know where a monster is, you just know where it is. Like you'll see it on your mini map and know where it's at.
Okay.
Well,
that
was
wasn't
better than it being a consumable, which was always just kind of like, okay, just need to make sure I don't run into these things that are a core game mechanic, and if I run out of them, it's a thing.
It becomes inconvenient, yeah.
But I thought that, and maybe I'm misunderstanding what you're saying. I always thought like the sort of tenet of the system they had like in Monster Hunter World was that like you're actually hunting the monster. So are they?
Well, you're still
eliminating
doing
the
that. They've eliminated the way you track it. You track it via your Kahoot. You send him up, he finds the monster and relays its location to you. Likewise, you can also just wander around until you find it. Like,
Is there anything like? Could you just like right when the level starts? Can you just send the Kahoot up and they find it right away?
Like it might take
just stuff that's near you, but it's
it might take you a little bit. Your map will tell you like, oh, here are the big monster dens, so you can go there, and it might not be the monster you're looking for, and you could just keep trying. Either way, it's not going to take you a terribly long time, and it's about the engagement and the chase.
This is not the monster you're looking for.
It's just a monster hanging out sometimes, you know.
Yeah, which is sad. You're just fucking killing monsters.
No, that's
you need
the
to make
best.
You just need to make a new shield.
I need a new
hat.
Monster. I need
bonus a new monster. You weren't even looking for that monster.
Nope.
And all of a sudden you get to kill that monster.
And then obviously you have your Palico, which is your little cat fighting.
I have
companion.
a question.
Yeah.
When you're done. Sorry, go ahead.
Okay, I'll probably be on this for a minute, so please go ahead.
My question is, as someone who very casually played Monster Hunter Worlds, I played it a few times. What's the big draw here besides portability on the Switch and like some of the new animal companions? What's the big draw to getting this game?
More Monster Hunter
as of right now.
Yeah.
Why would I want to get
this? Because it's more Monster Hunter.
Is there anything besides that?
No. What more would you need? It's Monster Hunter.
It's more Monster Hunter. B, it's on the Switch. Those are like the two biggest draws in all of gaming.
Well, no, I get that, but like I'm posing this question as saying like not like granted I understand how I posed it, but also as imagine someone who's never played a Monster Hunter game.
I mean, writing
sees how daunting it is, how much grinding there is. What's the big draw to try and like get into these games?
Well, hold on. If I may jump in for a second, this is actually something I do feel strongly about.
Well, I'm asking about Rise. Rise.
I know, but I have context here. I promise. Whenever we played the night that one of the couple nights that me and Shay played together, we were trying out World. I was trying to show him a little bit what World was like, so we'd have an idea when we talked about it on
World is a better entry point. I'll still stand by that.
I know we had kind of a rough experience, but yeah, once it starts to click for you and you find the right weapon, I really don't think it's as daunting as people made it out to be. Like I really cleared a lot of that game, only fighting the monsters 1 or 2 times in some cases, maybe 3, and I really got through Monster Hunter World up until like some of the later creatures that did stump me. I don't know what it felt like a pretty good pace.
You're not wrong, Morgan, but also that is easily the most approachable Monster Hunter.
Yes. So to someone like who's brand new, Shay, that would probably be the better option.
This isn't where if you're like brand new to the series and are like, I don't get what the appeal of, like, you need to push through to the appeal, because if you're asking me what the appeal is, I'm like, once it clicks for you, which is gonna take a fucking while. Monster Hunter's awesome.
Find the weapon that works for you, and all of a sudden it's gonna be
that is it. That is
Hunter.
it.
It's taking the Hunter, and you're gonna decide what.
Well, here's the thing: Shay doesn't give a shit about fashions in games.
The actual game is Fashion Souls. The game is Fashion Souls.
It's. I think Shay would like the biological aspects of World and the ecosystem and stuff, but he doesn't really give a shit about like what his character looks like.
That's the whole thing. Is like, I can't wait to wear this monster skin.
Yeah, exactly. which might be lost a little.
And
bit.
Make a new sword out of him, and
I'm gonna wear the fuck out of this ankle.
I'm gonna wear these lips,
and I'm gonna make a little outfit for my cat out of it. But I mean, honestly, Shay, that's it. Is like, what is the draw? It's Monster Hunter's fun as fuck, but it's a lot to learn.
Okay. I have a follow-up question then on this fashion point. Because the game is so heavily predicated on fashion, then as someone who's not really into like fashion and video games, can you fasten monster penises onto your head as a helmet, like a horned helmet?
There's definitely traces of penis in there, but no.
Yeah, no.
Why would I play this game if you can't do that?
You'd have to talk to Capcom about the why.
I mean, that's.
But there's.
I want monster penises as horns on my helmet, and if I can't do that, I don't see why I would spend any time playing this game.
Then it's not for you, I guess.
I'm dead serious about this, Shay, because I did all my work on the Xbox, and I would love to play it again on the PlayStation 5. If you ever wanted to play World, I would do a lot of those early missions with you again, because once I found my weapon, which was for me, weirdly enough, was the machine gun.
I had bow gun.
I had. Yeah, the light bow gun, not the heavy one. I had so much fun with seeing what all the monsters were in the world and how gorgeous they were, like that mud creature that was like, it was like a giant demonic catfish. And like that game, like
That was a
once
cool
it
one.
opened up, it got so like it like legitimately is amazing.
And
it's clunky, but you kind of just accept it for the clunkiness.
That's the credit I can give to Rise for sure. Is much like the 3DS family of Monster Hunter games. If you know what you're doing, you can just get right to that shit. You can just go. I'm taking like I'm gonna ignore this shit, and I'm just gonna go start doing hunts.
There's less onboarding. In those versions, and because of that, they're not as great entry points, like we said. But also, they let you get right to what Monster Hunter is.
But if you don't know what Monster Hunter is,
really quick,
boy, it's a lot of text boxes that are kind of explaining stuff to you, and I can understand firing that up and being like, "Fuck this," if you didn't already know what you were in for.
The thing is, Monster Hunter is a pretty fucking simple loop. They just make it a little more complicated than it needs to be. You're going to kill things. You're going to kill them over and over again. But I know it's the learning curve of all
there's still a lot of systems.
all the buttons and
I mean
within that.
That's also something I probably should have brought up, which I think is important even for Morgan. You've fought plenty of the monsters. No, they behave in world. The new mobility that Wirebug gives you, you really are encouraged to learn it. Because they've added a lot of new attack patterns for existing monsters to sort of try and counteract how quickly you can move with the Wirebug now, which I think is really smart. For one, like
that's cool.
It's
make you use the new system.
And the game feels so much more fluid once you start using it. And I'm really starting to get I've been playing for like 5 hours, and I'm starting to get a grip on like how that shit works and how comfortable I feel with it.
I only brought that up because like if you ever do decide you want to take the plunge, let me know, because I do want to play the game again, but I don't want to do it necessarily by myself again.
Well, you should just get Rise, and then we can play this one together.
That's the thing. Like, I wouldn't be against it. It's just my whole hot take on Monster Hunter Rise, and you can tell me if I'm crazy after this, Rich, is that, and this is the thing. And on one hand, I don't get. On one hand, all the Monster Hunter traditionalists that were playing a lot of the handheld games before, even if they were in America, I know it's huge in Japan, they were still very happy with the changes in world. Like, I didn't know any of the traditionalists.
Most of those changes are here.
Well, most of those changes are there. Okay, well, when you started off, you made it sound like it was not quite so substantial. Like, it didn't have as many of the.
I don't mean it doesn't take that streamlined stuff. I mean, in a way, World didn't. This game still feels more daunting because it's more. All right, you know what to do. Fucking go. It doesn't mean it didn't take the smarter decisions in the way World streamlined some of the gameplay stuff. But like, these games are a grind, and a lot of the systems are obtuse, and that's kind of always how they're going to be.
Yeah, but in World, you've got that fucking god awful, handler who tells you exactly what the fuck to do for the first 20 hours of the game.
That stuff really isn't here. There's like the quest maiden and stuff, but it's mostly just a person you go and talk to be like, all right, here's a new quest you can make, and here's some quests that'll like sort of teach you stuff, or you can just start picking up hunts and going for it.
Yeah. Well, the short answer is they make it sound like they're placating their older audience, like, oh, we want to make a traditional Monster Hunter game. But if what you're saying is true and they've kept a lot of the traditional changes, it sounds really more like,
they've kept the quality of life stuff, like I said, like the persisting whetstones. And
until we make the next big Monster Hunter on console, let's make a lot more money.
Well, this is a big Monster Hunter.
This is the next big Monster Hunter on console.
And it's coming to PC early next year, where I will buy it again.
Yeah, like no, I think they just cut out the tutorial because
there's gonna be a sequel to World. I have no doubt about that. But
they're just doing this weird it's just a weird franchise. Like, they just got everyone onboarded to it, and I know that a lot of people.
Also, here's the thing: I think you're misunderstanding. This game was in development before World even launched.
So, well, that's not real. That's an interesting thing to put in perspective, but. As someone who loved World, I'm going to if I picked up this game, other than obviously the graphical downgrade, I'm going to feel like it's pretty much the same thing. All of the evolutions and things that made World great, I'm going to basically find here.
Yeah, that stuff is there, and there's new stuff. Like, I think, I don't think you ever played Iceborne, so you don't have a frame of reference for the Clutch Claw, but
sadly, no.
The Wirebug is the Clutch Claw, but I think a little bit more balanced. And a little bit more fun, especially in the way it interacts with your weapons rather than just as a separate thing on its own. The aesthetic is obviously different. The particular aesthetic of this Monster Hunter is very much like it's Japan inspired. Like there's a lot of like feudal Japan vibes to it. One of the first areas they even talk about in the lore of this particular Monster Hunter game, the Rampage, where the monsters destroyed the world like 200 years ago. So a lot of the early areas are like these ruined feudal Japanese villages. There's cool design there.
That's cool. That actually, I like to hear that it's a lot of different, diverse. Because the older Monster Hunter games, much as I loved them, they all kind of looked very similar. The thing I'm curious about, and maybe it's a good parallel, is like the Dragon Quest series, because they do this weird thing where they're just jumping back and forth between like Nintendo handheld consoles, and then they'll do like a big one on the major. Like they're just doing. It's just weird to me that they wouldn't just stick with one through line, but I guess they're just trying to
you got to remember, Capcom has multiple studios working on Monster Hunter stuff, and while World was in development, this was in development as well. Like World was an attempt to get it to a wider audience, and they're gonna pull people over from that. And I still think there will be a follow up to World. I don't think there won't be. I don't think there's anything wrong with doing it the way they're doing it, because both games are great.
It's more money,
I wanted to at least finish my point. I was talking about the Palicos earlier before we got sidelined. Palicos obviously make a return, which are the cat companions that fight with you. And then I mentioned the Cahoots. Also new to the series is the Palamute, which is sort of a big dog companion who also helps you fight in combat, but more interestingly can be used as a mount to traverse the map more quickly.
Okay.
And one of the things I had to sort of get used to is like when I'm pursuing a monster on my Palamute's back, like you can sharpen weapons while you're riding the Palamute. So basically, like it's a good opportunity to be like,
cool.
I'm pursuing the monster and I'm gonna kind of gear up for when we encounter it again.
That really streamline stuff.
Yeah, it absolutely once I realized I'm like, oh, I can sharpen while I'm riding the Palamute. That's awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. No, that's a huge. That can speed stuff up a lot.
I would imagine that Capcom, even though Monster Hunter World was great and it was a huge success, it sold a shitload of copies. I imagine they still do miss having that massive handheld market. I know technically the Switch is a home console, but because of the portability, I would imagine that this game is going to just
also the Switch sold gangbusters. Like the attach rate.
I think the Switch has sold more than all the consoles.
Like so many people have a Switch
by an order of magnitude.
And I think they'll also get an audience that's like, oh, I heard about how awesome this Monster Hunter World was, but I didn't have a PS4 or I didn't have whatever. Like, there's more than just the experienced Monster Hunter player that's going to come into this.
Well, I guess what I'm saying to boil it down to its very essence is it's kind of sad that there isn't people playing Monster Hunter on the train anymore, and maybe they just...
Well, they don't play it on the train because we don't leave the house anymore.
Well, in theory, maybe that will, hopefully be changing sooner than later. Shay couldn't take it anymore, so that's a good time to take a quick break. Overall, it sounds like you're having a great time. More Monster Hunter.
Monster Hunter's great. I'm gonna keep playing it, and I will. If I have any revelations, I will bring them back to you. I'm gonna write a letter to your wife requesting permission for you to purchase Monster Hunter, and then we can play it. But I will send us off on that break.
I do miss. Yeah. Let's. Shay snuck out of here. He couldn't hold it. His bladder could not handle.
We'll be right back.
Bing. The right amount of subs is push-ups, which apparently fall on me because people want to see these big muscles working.
Yeah, that's why.
I'll have to do oblige. I'm also going to take my shirt off. Hope that's okay.
It's not.
Let's see. I'm going to put this down here. I got to be careful. I don't want to reveal my dildo collection that I have in the back. All right, let's see. Oh, there they are. Oh shit. I don't know where I'm going to do these.
You weren't kidding.
Let me hold on a sec.
That's definitely against TOS.
No, I will definitely do the 10 push-ups. Even if it's during the outro,
I'll you're on focus right now. You're supposed to be doing it right now.
Oh, well. This is a
remember when we said like, "Hey, are you ready to do the push-ups?" And you said, "Yeah."
Yeah, I'll do them. Well, I'll kick the dildos out of the way. Nobody cares.
You should sanitize those before you use them.
No way. All right, let's see. Wow, look at that wide form. Oh, terrible. He's going elbows out. That's putting so much pressure on his shoulders.
Well, he wants to ruin his shoulders.
It's not really working his chest.
He's always telling me that, how mad he wants to ruin his shoulders.
Wow.
You know, Morgan,
good job, Morgan. Yeah, whoa,
great job.
That was
there
really
was
good
no
job,
criticism
buddy.
of it.
Nice,
good job.
I can't tell if you guys are mocking me or what.
That was clean 10 push-ups.
I
there.
love now that I figured out, thanks to Discord, it's so easy for me to just focus on someone and really put them on blast like this.
That's nice.
I'm curious now. How did he manage that? Since I was away from camera at the moment.
Well, there were a lot of dildos in the shot. You should know that.
I was about to say, because like he's in a closet. There's no way it happened in that space. So
I made it work.
He pointed it out of the closet into the room itself, and
oh god,
yeah,
that's
always a danger.
Careful not to get any bottles or jars in the shot.
Be careful what you sub for. You might just get it.
Morgan, you can kick us back into the show proper whenever you're ready.
Show proper, I'm not so interested in. Now, the show unproper, that's what I'm here for.
Improper.
Welcome to Sword Chomp Abbey.
This one's not even a regional difference.
It's just incorrect.
It's improper.
Thank you, Grammar Hitler. All right.
Grammar Hitler.
Yeah, no, you're right. I fucked that one up. Sometimes not every word flows perfectly off the tongue during the improv job.
I one day learned talk good.
Anyways, so we're gonna get to if you're new to the show or just checking this out for the first time either on YouTube or Twitch, we round up the show.
That's not
with
what
some fun.
we're doing.
Oh, that's right. You guys want to talk more video games? Oh, I'm sorry. I'm so sorry. That was a joke. We have one more game to talk about, and then we'll be rounding up the show. I'm used to coming off the last break in a perfect world.
No, I understand why your brain fell back into that, but I wasn't going to let you do it. Because Josh and I, some of you might have popped in for last week's Saturday night stream. We're working on our marriage. We're really going to sort this out.
I think
I can't believe you guys played anything
Josh,
that fucker made after
Josh
that last...
and I are playing Joseph Ferris's new game, It Takes Two.
Is it as bad as the last one?
It's so much better. So much better.
Because
I don't think the narrative is, because we didn't have a lot of time to focus on this, Josh, but like I really hope they don't get back together in the end, because it's such a bad surface level view of divorce.
Yeah.
But the framework of the story basically is we're playing as this married couple in the midst of a divorce, and their daughter, who's not sure what country she lives in because the outlets are confusing us, is basically having some trouble dealing with this, and I guess is also a witch. Maybe it's unclear so far. And the magic of her tears turns us into these dolls of us that she's made, and we're forced to work out our problems by doing things like fighting an army of hornets with the help of some squirrels.
So this is like fantasy?
It's the aesthetic, and that's more so what we want to talk about. Not like the overarching story, but I think Josh and I were pretty much in total agreement the way through. The gameplay is great. And the miniature like aesthetic and the way every world changes dramatically is amazing. And I'll let Josh speak his piece on this. The thing that I think it does so well gameplay-wise is it's a tight, forgiving 3D platformer, but each world sort of introduces a new gimmick for each character to work with. And I don't think anything ever overstays its welcome. Like, just as you might be getting bored with an idea, they change it up with something brand new.
Completely different.
And it feels fun. Like, I'll give the example of the first world. Was Josh's character had like a hammerhead that they could use to like pull up nail heads, and then my character had these 3 nails he would throw as projectiles on his back. And one of the main mechanics we would do is I could throw a nail into a spot in the wall, and then Josh could use the hammerhead to swing from that and reach the next platform and stuff of that ilk.
Yeah. Oh, that's really close. Yeah, because the last game me and Josh played
that game is bad. I agree with you.
So bad.
It's bad.
So boring. You don't really even. Yeah.
This is nothing like that.
The story is so bad it's good, but the mechanics are just bad in the last.
Yeah.
This is nothing but good mechanics.
Yeah, and that's kind of it feels like they leaned into that idea of like, okay, we know this is going to be kind of campy fun, and it's a platformer. It's not just a platformer; it's a variety of platforming ideas. And so far, they've all been good.
And we played we're in like world what I would call
3?
world might be 4 by this. We did the shed, the like outside the house with the hornets, then the playroom, and then the sort of night village area. So we're on our way to like.
We just got
and the space area. No, we did like 5 or 6.
Yeah.
So it's all like that Honey that I Shrunk the Kids kind of vibe, where you're like real tiny.
Yeah,
it's got a lot of that.
Yeah.
Grounded was a big game last year too. Like that's coming back. The Honey I Shrunk the Kids.
Yeah, I mean that's more of a survival thing, but like this has got way more like weird fantasy vibes in it. Like Josh, talk about
one of the things
outside
I
level.
watched. Hold on, I want to jump in here real quick. One of the things I watched some videos on this game as you guys were talking about it past few weeks, and one of the things I really like about this game, just by looking at it, is it reminds me a lot of What Remains of Edith Finch, where not necessarily what the narrative is about, but more so how each part of the story is something that's vastly different, and it's this self-contained, unique experiment of gameplay as you go to each section. Yeah, and I really, really like that watching the videos, and that made me really want to play this game.
Yeah, and I mean, I bought it, so I'd be willing to play it with anybody else who picks it up just to go back through it, because again, because the mechanics are all different and you can play through as different characters if you want to, I'd be willing to go back through just to try out the other character for each section, because it's
so vastly different.
Yeah, they're very different. I think that's a good comparison as far as the just really changing up the mechanics for each section you're in. And also with the perspective of like, okay, why is this section of the story the way it is? I think we've not gotten there, because this game seems like it's going to kind of take a while to get there, but just my intuition going into it is that a lot of this is going to be in the mind of the daughter who's going through this,
or she's a witch,
but also like the other main character besides the 2-player characters is Dr. Hakim, who is the author of this like self-help marriage book that apparently their daughter got a hold of. And anyway, Dr. Hakim has a Mexican accent, because apparently their daughter just didn't know what accent Dr. Hakim should have.
So she just assigned one at random.
So she just assigned one at random. So Dr. Hakim has this like ridiculously strong,
like hello,
Mexican,
like.
Yeah,
but
hello,
he also sounds like
Dr. Hakim.
He also sounds like Lumiere from Beauty and the Beast somehow.
It's so over the top, and a lot of the levels kind of feel like they've got that sort of vibe to it of like, how is a kid gonna look at this sort of space,
and how's this gonna get
sort of a problem?
Wackier?
Yeah. Cool.
And I don't know if that's where it's going long term.
I hope Hakim's the villain.
Yeah, but I think they're going in. Whether all the themes pay off in the end, I'm not sure, because going from Brothers, which basically everything paid off excellently, to A Way Out, which was
weird,
kind of a mess overall. I don't know,
but this is way better than
where
A Way
it's
Out.
going.
Like worlds better.
Yeah, this works infinitely better than that. So
one thing I want to make sure is mentioned, though I don't want to say where it is. Yosef's infamous "fuck the Oscars" Game Awards speech is hidden inside of this game.
They put that in there as an Easter egg that I happened to find.
Josh found it while we were on stream, and we were both losing our minds. It was so fucking like, he's like, is that? And then I'm just like, fuck the Oscars! Fuck the
That's great. That's awesome. That's sort of like that's his thing. That's what he became.
At least he's owning it, like, and just having a laugh at his own expense in a sense.
Yeah.
It's pretty great.
That is cool.
That was one of the best Easter eggs I think I've found in a while. I happened to find it on stream, so.
Yeah, sounds a lot better than I thought. Okay, great. That's called It Takes Two. If you are intrigued, Shay said he ran a Patreon poll this week for our patrons.
I did. Yes. I like when you feign interest. Your voice always goes super high.
Maybe.
He has a Patreon poll this week.
Not fainted.
Baby, have Patreon, Paul.
I know. I'm just teasing you. So basically, because last, what was it? 2 days ago for me, 1 day ago for you guys, was April Fool's. So I wanted to ask a very simple question to the patrons. April Fool's jokes, are they funny or are they not? That's literally the only thing I asked this week. 8 people said they're funny, my dude, and 4 people said terrible. Stop it, y'all. And we had 1 comment this week on it. Mr. James said it depends on what they are. The IGN Zelda movie one was good, although I got annoyed because I thought it was real in the beginning. But getting rickrolled is annoying. And Jay, I'm sorry, getting rickrolled is a treat, and you should treat it as such.
Yeah.
Because getting rickrolled is awesome. We talked about this a few weeks ago.
You should treasure.
And it doesn't have to be relegated to April Fool's Day. You can rickroll someone any day.
Yeah.
The
spirit of rolling should live in your heart all year round.
Credit where credit is due for April Fool's jokes. I actually enjoyed this year. I don't know if anybody saw Adult Swim's April Fool's Day joke, where they did an hour block of Adult Swim Junior.
Nope.
In which they redubbed an entire episode of Rick and Morty with children doing the VO and called it Rick and Morty Babies.
Oh my god. No, I've not seen
that. That's awesome.
Amazing.
Yeah, so that's I don't get April Fool. Although when you sent us that Maneater thing and Rich was just like, yeah, it's definitely April Fool's, and I was like, wait a second, Maneater DLC, and it was real.
Like I didn't even read the article because I knew they were probably gonna do DLC because it's Tripwire, but like my immediate thought was like, they're just gonna say something completely absurd on April Fool's Day, and then tomorrow they'll be like, no, here's the real DLC.
Yeah, Rich just had to barge in there and try to shut our happiness down.
No, not everyone's, just
April
yours.
Fools,
yep, pretty much.
But now that the internet is a thing, fuck April Fools. God fucking damn. There are 2 days that the internet is completely goddamn useless.
April Fools and
Arbor Day.
And the day before April Fools, because all these tech companies have to have their shit out the day before.
Yeah.
So the last day of March and the first day of April are completely fucking useless for being online. Like this, you can't do anything. Like there's literally no reason to go online for 2 days a year because of that fucking shit. Like
that's fair. I
I
think we have a plan. I think we have a plan for April Fool's Day for next year. Since we didn't do it this year. The one that I talked about that we're not going to mention. We're going to do it next year.
Oh, Lord.
Lord. We replace all
we got to do that next year.
Where we replace all of us with fish.
Wow, that
just
would be
4 fishes.
Yeah, just 4 fishes.
So I will go through these a little quicker than normal just because, oftentimes
I'm going to have to make a VTuber version of fish now that we can all run on our end for that day.
Perfect.
Deep cut version of fish.
Sounds great. I usually we end the show with some fun polls and just kind of laughing, but obviously
today's will be unfun.
So today will not be fun. Now I'll go through them very quickly and then we can do one in sort of a fun manner. Some of them are just kind of quick anyway. 66% of our audience said Monster Hunter Rise is more Monster Hunter, and only 34% said it's great.
Those are the same thing.
It was the same thing. Yes.
Hype level for Nier Replicant is very high. Unfortunately, you know what? It's not terrible. Hype level for Saga Frontier Remastered was about at 25 to 30%. I did that for Shay.
I don't want to disappoint Shay.
15% higher than I expected.
Because
no one's ever heard of it.
I'm still being optimistic about Saga Frontier, but somebody whose opinions I really respect recently told me that Saga Frontier made them think they hate JRPGs.
Who said that?
A friend of mine.
I didn't say that, but I would have. I just said that it gave me cancer.
Guys, come on, Shay's here.
Rich,
I'm still going to try it with an open mind.
Just go into it with an open mind, and if you hate it, you hate it.
That's all I can do, and I promise you I will do that much.
I am sad.
I have a feeling you're not going to like it, but that's okay.
I'll lie to you if I have to.
Imagine if
your friendship hangs in the balance.
That happened in Seiken Densetsu 3 was a bad idea instead of a good
I
idea.
will say this, Rich. I'll make it really succinct.
And then you managed.
I pretend to like Morgan and Josh, but I actually secretly fucking hate them because of their opinions on Saga Frontier.
Wow. That's wild.
Hey, I didn't have a strong dislike of Saga Frontier. I was just confused why I died in the first 10 minutes because there was like level
well, that's because you're bad at games.
In the first enemy area, and I got lost, and it was very confusing. So there's probably a cool game there. It was very difficult to find it. It was tough, but hey, you know what? Maybe we'll get extra
I wish
code.
something killed me at that level. I was stuck in a prison for like all of, I don't know, what was it, 18 hours before I finally got out and got into the actual game. It was.
In actuality, I don't have a strong take one way or the other on the game.
Like
I just
Golden
had a bad
Sun.
experience with it. Yeah. Anyways, let's see here. I'll talk. I got a lot more to say about near next week. We don't have time. Let's see. Oh, Monster Hunter. This was just a joke. There's a Monster Hunter movie. If you guys haven't seen it,
pretty bad.
Oh my god.
And it says on the bottom, big monsters, huge effects, and nonstop action. That's what Evan Davis of Fandango said. And I was just kind of joking that if they ever say nonstop action on the movie poster, you know it's trash. And 85% of our audience agreed.
Yeah.
No, that's
exactly
totally
what that
fair.
means.
That's the one tagline you would be like, atrocious story and nonstop action.
I swear they paid them to do that. Fandango, the place you buy movie tickets.
Well, joke's on you.
Nonstop
No one
action.
buys movie tickets anymore.
I'm surprised that's not the advertisement for porn.
Yeah. Nonstop action means you can literally go for a popcorn break at any time
terrible plot,
and will
nonstop
miss
action.
Nothing.
True enough.
Sorry. You guys got so excited about this that everyone talked at once. So let me decipher this. Shay had a joke about it being nonstop action with porn, which is true. They should label it that way. And maybe some do. I don't know. We should go check that out.
I mean, you can tell that by the runtime. If it's over 10 minutes, then it's not nonstop action. If it's under 10 minutes, then it's nonstop action.
How are you going to pay for this pizza?
Yeah, that's the thing I never got when I was younger. Like, why am I going to pay for 2 hours? I only need 7 minutes. Josh, your joke was
7 minutes? Who are you trying to impress?
You are lying about 5 minutes of that, sir.
I'm always trying to beat my personal record. What was your joke?
Sitting there
Josh?
with a
I'm sorry.
stopwatch in one hand.
No, mine was that's a great movie. You can literally go to get popcorn at any time and miss nothing.
Oh
Yeah.
yes.
Yeah.
If you saw
That's
Monster
a
Hunter,
plus in some situations.
What happened? Just kidding. I know nothing.
let's put it this way. Well,
Nothing happened. Nothing happened. Never.
We should do a Chommy After Dark. We should all suffer through a Monster Hunter movie and do.
I'll do it.
They tried to make it. Well, this is a Hollywood thing in general. It's all.
You watched it?
No. This is literally every Hollywood movie. They have to
Oh.
put some sort of U.S.
Presume.
military propaganda in it. So
Mhm.
they fucking have U.S. military propaganda. in
Bro,
a
did you know
Monster
that
Hunter
they
movie.
fought Rathians in Iraq?
Yeah, no, it's fucking set in Iraq. Like it's oh my god.
Yo, I didn't know the Grand Meowster was in the Army Reserves.
Mm-hmm.
Hey, look, man.
He had to help himself pay to get through college some way, man. Like
In the army, you can fight kaiju.
oh my god.
Here's the big one. Are you okay with your significant other rocking gaming underwear? 91% of our audience said yes. Another resounding success.
You fucking liars.
No.
No.
And I even used
know
a
our
picture of
audience is
Sonic
mostly
underwear.
guys.
I think you
I
should
used a
mostly
picture of
guys.
Sonic underwear.
I think you should all just be grateful that anyone lets you touch them.
Rich.
I mean, that's the only way in
Rich
which
is
that
like,
poll
guys.
makes sense. The poll makes sense in the sense
No, that's-
that
anyone-
no, I will literally never complain ever.
Yeah,
Because
It's
it's
like,
a
guys, I
bad
just want to
idea.
touch somebody.
No,
Come on,
that's
just
not
be
that's not
thankful.
the perspective I meant it from. It's just like
Yeah.
if anyone who's like that's my line in the sand, like all right, bullshit.
Yeah, they have a hot date on getting naked on their bed, and they're like, "Oh, Sonic underwear, get out of here! Come on, come on!"
I mean, sure, I'll ask them what Sonic game it's from, and hope for a good
Excuse me.
answer.
You have Final Fantasy VIII underwear? You fucking plebe. 7's the best one. Get the hell out of my house.
No,
They-
I
they have a
recognize
strong
that Sonic
stance
model.
against eight.
Because
I recognize that Sonic model. That's from Adventure 2. You get the fuck out of here.
I was gonna say, if it's from Sonic Adventure or Sonic Adventure 2, yeah, you're paying for your own Uber in the morning.
No. Yeah, the only
I'm
thing-
sorry. You have Dead Space 3 underwear? The game that transitioned from horror into action? No, Ken Doosville, get out.
I actually think
That's
Dead
cl-
Space
the
2.
fur under Isaac's collar clearly shows that it's
Giving
from
two a
Dead
lot of
Space
credit
3.
by saying 3 is the one that transitioned to action.
Three's the bad one, but
Eh,
you're not technically wrong, Josh. But
2's on its way there.
it's still a very good game. It's
2 is
not
still
one,
a really
but
good
it's
game.
still a very good
2
game.
is still a great game.
How did we get here?
Oh, so and I hope you appreciate.
I'm
If you heard the,
all right. I've got to search now if there are Dead Space underwear.
If there are, get me a pair.
there's
Okay,
no-
you search. Morgan, you wrap it up.
and that was it. Yeah, if a girl's wearing Sonic the Hedgehog underwear,
Morgan wouldn't
I
know
mean,
anything about wrapping it up.
I'll come faster than the naked eye, as the Sonic theme song says. He comes faster than the naked eye.
Or you'll come in your own naked eye.
When I was younger, and this is a true story as I wrap the show up, I was always like, Mom, Dad, I don't get, what does the naked eye mean? And they had to explain
Grateful
it.
Dead
Because it's a weird
boxers?
lyric for a kid's show. Like, come faster than the naked eye. What is it? And the eyes aren't naked. They're all, we don't wear,
Sounds like
I
you were
don't
just
get
a dumb kid.
I don't think there are Dead Space boxers. I'm seeing a lot of Grateful Dead boxers and a lot of space boxers.
Outer Space?
Not Grateful, but not Dead Space.
Grateful Dead
boxers.
Space.
We should have some fan go create custom like Redbubble Dead Space 3
Well,
boxers.
I
and
was
send
gonna
them
say,
to-
couldn't we just find like an Isaac Clarke model on Redbubble and order it on underwear?
yeah, you
You'd
could.
think so.
And Dead Space, God, can you imagine? One day Shay's gonna have a date that just pulls it down, and there's Dead Space 3, and she's like, "I'm a big shot." Boom, and his whole life is gonna change
Are
forever.
we about to play catch co-op, baby?
He's like, "Not for Dead Space."
What do we have here? No,
Oh,
that's not.
my wife's
that's
calling
not-
me.
to slay some
not
necromorphs
boxers. I thought I found them. It's
My
still
wife's
not
giving me
there.
the fuck off, so we gotta get out of here. Sorry, Josh. Josh is joining us from Michigan. Thank you, Rich from New York. Shay from Japan, of course. I'm General Mountain Time. Morgan from Montana, and we'll see you next week. Thanks for joining us on Twitch every Friday afternoon, evening, whatever you want to call it. We're gonna be launching
Afternoon.
hopefully at 6
It's
p.m. Mountain
10:30
Time.
at
No
night.
one lives in
You
Montana.
can find you can find these on
Trying to
YouTube.
pretend someone lives in
swordchomp,
Montana on the
dumb
same
piece of
time
crap.
zone as you.
Okay, let's get out of here.
Let's get out of here.
You and the three
Fuck you,
three
Morgan.
people in Wyoming. Nobody.